is going to be. He gets away from one tackle. Lefty's still running. Cuts back up. Lefty's still on his feet. Lefty's still on his feet. He's down the sideline. He's headed for pay there. Touchdown, Dragons! And welcome to York Institute as we're set for football action tonight. It's the Dragons of York Institute and the Upperman Bees. Gary, probably one of the biggest hills York's got to climb tonight.
Yeah, you look at the York schedule, there's a couple of games stands out, and certainly this is one of them, Gary. Upperman will bring a quality football team in here tonight. They're 5-1 on the season. They're, they're probably renowned as the best team in this region.
And Upperman comes in this one. They got an impressive record of 5-1, 2-0. Their only loss, of course, the Livingston Academy. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at how these two teams did against each other last year. We'll take a look at some stats from the last, actually 2 games last year they played each other. We'll take a look at all that here on the Progressive Pregame Show here in just a moment. Thanks to the folks at Progressive Savings Bank for our pregame show here on WDEB and CLTV. Let's take a quick time out from this word from Progressive Savings Bank, and we'll be back for more in a moment.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
Back here at York Dragon Field, and Gary, York tonight, they're facing the Upperman team. Upperman's only loss was to Livingston, a 10-7 affair. They've beaten Smith County, they beat Cookeville, they beat Cannon County, and they've beaten DeKalb, and they beat Oneida last week.
Yeah, the rest of their games have been, pretty much one-sided affairs. The Cookeville game was a close game, 21-20. And then, also they went up to Oneida last week and, was a close game at halftime, and they kind of controlled the whole second half, though, Gary, and walked away with that one in the end. But, only 2 close games. They lost the one to Livingston, beat Cookeville down at Tech to begin the season.
And if you go back to that Livingston game, I talked to some folks that actually was at that game. They said they had 2 turnovers inside the 10-yard line that really killed their drives and allowed Livingston to take that one from them. And Livingston, though, a very good team, and York's going to see them in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they are, and this is an Upperman team that made, they got a lot of kids back from a team that made the state semifinals last year, Gary. So, they've got a lot of pieces back. They've had to replace a tailback and maybe one receiver on offense. Had to replace a little more on defense, but it's still a lot of quality players coming back.
And once again, York and Upperman getting ready to get underway here in just a moment. I'm trying to get my computer set. Now I've got it set to where it needs to be at. But, Gary, this one, last year, they played 2 games, and Upperman took both of those.
Yeah, they did, and both of them, not really close contest. The first one was a little closer to say. The playoff game was not a real close contest.
And I think we're getting ready here in just a moment for our national anthem and starting. The last time these two teams played last year, as we said, Upperman took the first game 35-21. That was regular season. And then in the playoffs, they won 44-14. And since 2004, York is 9-8 against Upperman, but Upperman has won the last 5 of 6, Gary. So Upperman has been kind of on a roll and had York's number in the last few years.
Yeah, they have. And, the quality of their programs improved too, Gary. And, the one year York did win, Upperman had a little bit of a downturn in their team that season, lost some close games, including one to York.
And, of course, they're getting ready here to play tonight. And this is a huge district matchup, Gary. We mentioned district wins. A win here tonight keeps York in the hunt for one of those top spots and also would absolutely secure them a playoff spot.
Yeah, you look at York's 1-1 in the region. You got 3 more region games to go. You have to win at least one of them to be in the playoffs, and each one you can win above that actually moves you that much further up.
If you look at the AP top 10, of course, Upperman right now sitting in that top 10. They are the number 8 team in AAA. That's where they were last week. Alcoa, of course, number 1. Red Bank, number 4. We mentioned Red Bank because if you go into the region, Red Bank's one of those teams waiting in that other region.
Yeah, they're probably the top team in the other region, Gary. So, you're looking at, if you're the fourth place team in this region, you're going to have to travel there for an opening playoff game.
And, of course, tonight it is York and Upperman here at York Institute. We're getting ready for, I think, our opening ceremonies. As we get ready for that, we'll take a break, and we'll be back with the pregame. We'll take a look at last week's games and this week's games coming up in just a moment.
Now the York Institute JROTC color guard. And tonight, the national anthem will be performed by York Institute's very own Noteworthy. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the
Back to the games that's coming up tonight. We've got York and Upperman. Last year, Upperman's had some pretty good games from Blake McAllister, and he's back for them. Is why we mentioned him. He rushed for 123 yards in game one, 87 in game two. He threw for 188 in the first game and only 16 in the second game. So he's a dual threat, to say the least.
Yeah, he is, and he is back, and, he's a really good, he's a solid quarterback. He can make the throws, but, what he's really good in is the RPO or the read pass option game, and has a very quick first step and is real fast and can run that very well. For Upperman, the biggest thing they had is they need to replace their all-state tailback in Blake Metzger, and it looks like they've done that with 2 or 3 guys going forward here, but that was the biggest loss they probably had on their whole offense.
That's for sure. As you take a look at York from last year, some of the returning players, Thomas Miller had 93 yards in game one, did not have any yards in game two, and it was Ben Cooper with 15 yards in the first game, 20 yards in the second game last year. So neither of these teams, the players that York has got back, has had a lot of success against Upperman, but they've got to tonight.
Yeah, they do, and talking about Thomas Miller, it's good to see him back tonight. And the biggest thing I remember about him in the first matchup last year was the 80-yard touchdown pass from Landry Clefview. That was a route, they got him out on a wheel route, ran to precision, and he was wide open.
Yeah, he had one reception for 80 yards in that game, and Of course, York tonight, Gary's going to need to pull out some tricks to slow down this Upperman offense.
Well, it's going to be about York football, Gary. You got to be able to control the line of scrimmage, got to be able to run the football effectively, and be able to control that clock. That's going to be the big things for York. To win those battles, that's going to keep them in the ball game tonight.
Well, let's take a quick time out for a word from a couple of our sponsors, and we'll be back to take a look at the top 10 AP teams around the area. Also, we'll take some look at the Region 3A standings coming up after this.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435. A proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Well, the Bees won the toss, Gary, and they deferred to the second half, so we'll see what York does offensively against Upperman. Upperman coming in, as we said, the number 8 team in AAA. In single A, you got Coalfield sitting at number 8. You got Monterey's up to all the way to number 10 this week. Clay County dropped out. You got Watertown, Trousdale, and Oneida Watertown, Trousdale. Oneida dropped out after their loss last week in AA. In 4A, you've got Livingston sitting at number 7. They're actually up one from last week. So some good teams. York's got one of the state-ranked teams tonight. They got Livingston coming in a few weeks.
Yeah, they do, Gary, and couple of solid teams that'll be coming in here. Hard to believe, but this is the 4th home game of the year. There are only one left, and that's Livingston. So a couple of quality teams going to come up here to the Dragon Pit to end this season anyhow. And then York got road games at Sequatchie County and Cannon County.
Well, Gary, it'll be interesting tonight. We've seen Miller's out there. He's suited up. We'll see. Interested to see if Thomas Miller, how much he'll get to play tonight.
Yeah, I expect if he's good to go, he's going to play. He gives York a speed option. He's probably the fastest player on the team. So.
And we see York, we're getting ready to kick off. It will be Upperman kicking it away. We see back in deep is Caden Stover and White Hawks. And if Upperman's watched any film, they're not going to kick it to that right side of the field, I don't believe, Gary.
Yeah, they'll probably kick it away from Stover. Hawks is the better option here. And, Upperman with an experienced kicker, too. We remember him from last year as well.
Trey Crowley going to kick it away, and this game is underway, and they go right to the middle of the field. And that's going to bounce and die right on the 2-yard line. Stover's going to pick it up, going to bring it back, and that's going to be you're getting stopped right about the 15-yard line, Gary. Not the way you want to start a ball game.
No, but I thought that ball might roll in the end zone too, but it had good spin on it, and it just died. Died on the 2-yard line. Stover, good job, pick it up and turn it up the field, get a little something out of it out to the 14-yard line.
And, of course, in pool they would call that good English, so it got good English on that one. As now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Dragons as they'll bring their squad up. We see I don't see maybe Miller's in there. I'm not sure. It's going to be under center now. They're going to take it, and Durham going to take it over the left side. Durham going to get up over the 20 to about the 21 before he's dropped down. And, Gary, we saw Durham do that last week. He took it on his own.
He fumbled that, Gary. And
that's Castellon. I'm sorry.
No, it was Durham. He fumbled it. Castellon actually recovered it. And, Durham got hit and fumbled the ball. Castellon recovered that, gain of about 6.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 4. So that's good for the Dragons that Castellon was there to follow it up. I thought it was Durham on the carry as Durham will get back this time, sit up under center. Got a man in motion. He's going to hand it off this time to Gibson, and Gibson's going nowhere. I believe that was
Castellon. That was Castellon on the carry, and they shot through every gap, Gary. The Upperman defense caught him in the backfield for about a 2-yard loss, so it'll be 3rd down and 6.
So now the Dragons find themselves in 3rd and fairly long as they will come up and need to get all the way to about the 24-yard line. Under center will go Durham. Durham going to hand off up the middle. Durham going to keep it himself, go over the left side, and he gets up, and he's got enough of the first down, Gary, as he'll get up over the 26-yard line, and that time secured the ball much better.
He did. Probably more importantly, Gary, I think Coach Wright and the York coaching staff has seen something here, and Durham with a couple of runs early enough to get at least one first down for York, keep chains moving. So, good observation by them, being able to pick up positive yards here early in the game.
So 1st and 10 now for the Dragons as they're at the 26-yard line, their own 26. This time Durham going to drop it and have to fall on it, Gary. And that, there's been one weak spot for Durham, it's that center quarterback exchange.
It has been, and that was he got mixed up with the fullback. I think he was handing it off, and the ball just fell to the ground, Gary, and he was able to climb back on it quickly.
Now, Upperman playing without Tavarius Collins, they're one of their defensive linemen, and we'll see if that's where York sees that weakness at now as they've been running that one side. Now they'll go in motion. They're going to pitch it over to Castellon. Castellon tries to cut back inside, gets up over the 30 to the 31. And there he's dropped there, and he took a shot, Gary, and he is down.
Yeah, he's not he got the breath knocked out of him maybe, Gary. I'm not sure here, but he's moving around. The trainer out to take a look at him.
And while he's down, we will take a break, and we'll be back here after this.
Managing your medications has never been easier. With Medi-Thrift Pharmacy's MedPack, your medications come organized by date and time, securely sealed in individual, easy open packages. So when it's time to take your next dose, you just tear the package off the roll and your pills are there. That's all there is to it. No bottles, no bother. For more information, call us at 879-8133.
Castellon gets up and is helped off the field, Gary. He took a shot.
He did, and he over here he's taking his helmet off, and their trainer taking a look at him here. But more importantly, it's 3rd down 6 for York as well, so a big 3rd down here as the trainer continues to look at Nathaniel.
And it's going to be handed off up the middle to Big Ben, and he's going to get maybe a yard before he's brought down. And Gary, York finds himself in early 4th down, and quite a bit, so it looks like it's punt time.
Yeah, it's about 4th and 5 here from the 32, and we'll just have to have a look, see what York decides to do.
And York setting up, they're going to drop back Miller. Miller going to come in and punt. Castellon's been doing the punting for the last couple of weeks, but he went down just a moment ago, so now Miller will punt it away. And Upperman really giving the kicker some room, and that one's going to hit right about the 40-yard line or 35-yard line, right all the way down the 21. As that time Upperman's back, Gary Petty, just let that one hit and roll, and if he'd got up and under that, he probably could have saved him at least 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, Donovan McAllister was back there, the quarterback as well, and he never made an effort to move towards the ball, Gary. So he just let bounce, and it rolls all the way down to the 21-yard line.
And up will come McAllister and his unit. We remember, as we said, McAllister from last year did a lot of damage against the Dragons, and he will be back in the shotgun. We are 7:48 left here in the first quarter, a scoreless first quarter so far, and now it's McAllister with the snap. He'll keep it himself, breaks to the front line, still on his feet. He was up over 30 to the 40, got one man to beat, and bringing him down right at the 50-yard line was Durham, Gary, and Durham had a guy blocking him, but able to shed off the block and make the tackle.
Yeah, he was, but that was clear sailing for McAllister. He saw the hole in the line, broke through it, and didn't meet any opposition until he met Durham about midfield, a gain of about 30 there.
Yeah, so he'll have it 1st and 10 right at midfield, just on the York side of midfield, as a matter of fact. It will be McAllister back in the shotgun. Out the play, snap it. He's going to fake. He's going to quick out this time over to number 21 right side. He's headed down the sideline. He's going to have a first down and more before he's ran out of bounds right at the first down marker. And Gary, that was, I believe, Shanks on the catch.
Yeah, Carter Shanks on the catch. That was just a little flip play. He just flipped it out there, the line of scrimmage, had a blocker, and used him effectively to get a first down, Gary.
So 1st and 10 now for the Bees at the York 39-yard line as Upperman marching down the field. McAllister in the shotgun. Takes snap, hands it off this time to the back. He'll go over the left side. Not much running room there. Maybe got a couple of yards before he's brought down. And that was, I believe...
Petty on the carry there.
Petty.
Yeah, got about 3 on that one, Gary.
So that'll make it now 2nd and 7, and York could really use a stop here, Gary.
They could. Good job on first down to build up the wall and hold him to about a 3-yard gain. Need to come up with a play right here, though. They give him in 3rd and long, Gary.
So here comes McAllister up in the shotgun. Got 2 out to the wide to the right, 1 to the left. And now they're going to take a snap back. He's going to throw it deep. He's got a man out there, and it's going to be incomplete. Good job by the Dragons defensive player, White Hawks, to get there and get a hand on it.
That was outstanding defense, Gary. I mean, he was with him the whole way, but at the perfect time reached his hand in there and knocked the ball away. So really great defense, good coverage by White Hawks.
Yeah, McAllister had put that on a dime, Gary. That was either going to be caught or going to be knocked away, like we said, at the last second, because there's no way he could have got around the guy the interception on it.
No, he couldn't have, and he did. He peeked right on the spot. It was a good throw.
6:17 left to go here in the first quarter of play as the high snap. This time McAllister keeps himself, bounces outside. He's got some run room, got a blocker ahead of him. He'll get up to about the 30-yard line, maybe just inside the 30. It's going to be, and we got a illegal shift by the Bees.
Yeah, they're going to call them for 2 men in motion, I believe. And they didn't get set, so going to back them up 5 yards and make it 3rd and 12 here.
So that big break for the Dragons, Gary, but they did get him stopped down there. So, but you can't really take and decline that penalty because with 4th and short, you're giving them an awfully good opportunity if you make it 4th and short.
You are, and you got to take that penalty, back them up, make them. This is long yardage. It's 3rd and 12, so that's what you want if you're a defensive team. You got to stop them now.
So up come the Bees as they've got a 3rd and a dozen with 6:10 left to go here in the first quarter. Still scoreless in this one. Upperman with their first possession. York punted their first possession. Back in the shotgun, they'll get to McAllister. He'll drop back. He's looking deep. Got a man wide open, and he's going to walk into the end zone as that time number 8, I should say, Ty Duchess looked like a Duchess because there was nobody around him.
Gary, he was lined up in the backfield, and they flanked him out to the slot on the right, and that was a blown coverage by York. Nobody went with him, and he just ran the seam route right down the middle of the field and was wide open for the touchdown.
Easy TD for the Bees, and they're out quickly to a 6-0 lead, and looking to tack onto that, it's going to be Krolik. Trey Krolik will step up to kick. And the snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good as Upperman takes the early lead. We got 5:49 left to go in the first. Upperman puts up a 7 spot. It's 7-0. Bees.
Crisp air, cool breeze, fall leaves. All the things autumn brings. It also brings Carrier's Fall Cool Cash Rebate Promotion. Now until December 15th. Take advantage of discounts on select energy-efficient heating and air conditioning units. With financing options to fit any budget, you'll be ready to jump into fall and tackle any weather that comes your way. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Condition Heating and Cooling for your free estimate today.
Conditioned heating and cooling.
Well, with 5:49 left to go in the first quarter, Gary, the Bees made that look pretty easy.
Well, yeah, they did. They had 3rd and 12, though. York had them backed up. They just flanked their back out into the slot, and he ran right down the field. York blew the coverage. I saw Coach Trout over there trying to make sure he had that covered, but after the fact. But York didn't pick him up going down the field. He was wide open.
So now back to do the kicking will be Krolik. Krolik will kick it away. He hit the extra point a moment ago, and it's a 7-0 Upperman lead, and he'll kick off again. And this one going over toward Cade Stover, and that one's going to bounce, and that one's going to roll in the end zone. And Gary, York, their receiving team actually not even trying to come up and make the catch on it.
No, I think they're hoping that bounce into the end zone. The first one, took a weird hop on them.
Yeah.
That one did not. It rolled on in. So York will get it and take over at the 20-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now for the Dragons. And Gary, York, in a game like this, York, you've got to counter punch. If you can't just hope to come back later with a team like Upperman, you're going to have to score as often as they score.
Yeah, I mean, it's ball possession and moving it here. And, they're ready for the run. They're run blitzing all the gaps, Gary, and York got to come up. I'm sure Coach Wright's got a couple of plays, and we got a flag.
And we've got
12 men in the huddle, so York going to start from the 15 now.
And it's going to be 1st and 15 for the Dragons as they back up toward their own goal line. And York, Gary, their passing game, they've come on in the last few weeks. They've had some more passing attempts, but it's still not a passing game that is feared by a lot of teams.
No, it's not. And
here's a handoff up the middle. Good run that time for the Dragons, number 14.
Evan Tompkins on the carry.
Evan on the carry, so Evans gets a good chunk of yardage back. And, Gary, you can that could definitely help a team out.
Yeah, a run of about 12 there, Gary. So it'll be, it's 2nd and 3, 2nd and short yardage, which is what York really needs. A nice run by Evan Tompkins.
Especially when you got a 1st and 15. As now up will come the Dragons with this time Durham back in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's going to bring it right straight up the middle, gets through, and then gets level. Whoa, he got met right about the 31-yard line.
Yeah, his opposite number, playing strong safety, Donovan McAllister, come in and make the tackle. Got a 1st down, though. Move the chains, 1st down Dragons.
But that's one of those that'll wake your dentist up in the night, as that one rattled his teeth for sure, as Durham really got leveled.
They're hitting hard, Gary. We've seen it early here. They're hitting.
The Upperman Bees is sitting at number 8 in the state. They're trying to make some noise this evening. Now quick out by the Dragons. That's going to be over here on the right side. And getting up over the 40-yard line is the Dragons' number 18, Tolman. Tolman on the reception gets it up to the 40.
That'll be close to a 1st down, Gary. Maybe a yard short here. Yeah, about a yard.
And Gary Thaddeus has become one of Durham's favorite targets.
Well, I like that play, Gary. That's just a quick hitter. He steps back a step. Durham throws him the ball out there. They've got a receiver blocking, and he used it effectively and got 9 yards out of it.
And now West and Strong will come out wide to the right side. And they'll hand it off this time to Stover, and Stover stopped right in his tracks, Gary. He maybe lost a yard.
He lost a couple, Gary, so it's going to be about 3rd down and 3 here.
Dragons need to keep this drive alive. Like I said, you've got to, with a team that's as offensively potent as Upperman is, you've got to counterpunch whenever they punch.
Yeah, you do. And, York with a 1st down again, a chance to get another one here, Gary. We'll see what they're able to do on 3rd down.
So now back up will come the Dragons. This time they've got Gibson in the backfield with Durham, and the snap. Here comes the rush. Durham going to roll out. He's going to throw down. Feeling that one was batted up in the air and incomplete.
That was covered. That was intended for.
I believe that's West. Out there.
Johan, and that ball batted by, I believe it was McAllister out there in coverage. It was McAllister, Thomas Enzer, one out there in the coverage, bagged the ball up in the air, and it falls incomplete.
And now dropping back will be McAllister. He's going to return it. He's right about the 25-yard line as Miller will step back to punt it away. Miller gets the punt off. That's a shanker in, but it's going to hit and take a great roll for the Dragons. And Gary, he didn't get much on that one, but it got a good roll.
It did, down to about the 27-yard line. That'll be a punt of 35 yards. So, York having to paint away, and Upperman will take over from there.
And Gary, Upperman with a 7-0 lead, and we've got 3:09 left to go here in the 1st quarter. They now take back over. They may look easy that first drive. We'll see what they do here.
Yeah, I mean, they moved it pretty methodically. Got a penalty, got 3rd and long, but see what they can do with their 2nd opportunity at it here.
McAllister will be back in the shotgun. Takes the snap. He's looking, got a man on the slant, and that one's going to go through the hands of number 4, as that was the intended receiver was Metzger, younger brother of the running back from last year.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be one of their top receivers. Just ran him on a little slant route over here off the left sideline, and was open. And the ball thrown a little bit high, but still catchable, and it just went through his hands.
So now it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Bees. McAllister takes the snap, hands it off this time, and that one's going nowhere, as losing his footing as he tried to come through was Shanks, I believe.
No, that was Petty on the carry, Gary. Yeah, and no gain on that, so it'll be 3rd down and 10.
And that's going to be 3rd and 10 now for the Bees. And this is an opportunity where York needs to get off the field, Gary. They need to stop here.
Yeah, another 3rd and long situation, Gary, and this is an opportunity for them to hold them and get off the field.
Here's where you got to watch for McAllister. McAllister likes this situation. He'll come in 3rd and long. He'll drop back quick, slant pass. That's not going to be good enough for the first down. It'll be called right at the 35, but he needs to get to the 38, Gary. He's going to be about 3 yards short, as big number, I believe it's 39. Is let's see, 39 for the Bees.
I'm not.
Is actually I don't know if that was 39 or 29.
Didn't really get the number. It looks like they're in punt formation. It's 4th and 3 here from the 35-yard line. We'll see what happens.
And the punt's going to be a line driver, and it's going to hit. Not a great punt there either. That one just kind of died right about the 30-yard line. So York, decent field position, Gary, and more importantly, they were able to hold the Bees. And with a $1.35 here in the first quarter, it's still a 7-0 ball game.
Yeah, it is. York done a good job on that possession. They had 3rd and 9 from the 28, Gary, and attempted another little slant route pass, and York there to make sure he didn't get the first down, getting extra yardage or yards after the catch, and York held them take over here. York in their first 2 possessions have picked up a first down in each possession, just haven't been able to get anything else.
And so now they'll come up this time with the shotgun. It'll be handed off. Now we got a flag on this one before it ever gets started, as that one's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage, if not a little bit behind the line of scrimmage. And another legal shift by York.
Yeah, that was Evan Tompkins on the carry, no gain, but you're right, York going to get called for an illegal shift here.
So now that's going to back them up even more. And Gary, the official threw that one. That should be one of those plays when that happens, they blow the whistle dead, because you got to go through a play and get a kid hurt when it's all going to be a penalty like that. I just don't understand that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised also that Upperman would take this penalty. They have the option to decline that and didn't do it, so it's 1st and 15 now.
Actually, a little more than that. I think it's going to be first more like 18 from the looks of it, because but now it's going to be 2nd and long, as Gibson was just racked up right when he got the ball, Gary.
Yeah, actually, they're going to mark him for a loss of about 1, and that's probably generous.
Yeah.
So it'll be 2nd and 16 from the 24-yard line. But actually, they're going to mark him for no loss, so that's really generous.
Yeah.
And, so it's 2nd and 15 now for 25.
So now back up come the Dragons. That time the Bees in quick and early enough they could have took their lunch money on that one. Now quick pitch out to Gibson. He's going to come back inside. Gibson breaks one tackle, gets up to the 40, and then he is knocked down to the 40-yard line, Gary. But he's going to be very close to a first down if he didn't get it.
I believe he got it. They should be moving the chains here. So that's almost to the 41-yard line, and a great job there. They faked the handoff to the fullback, and it looked like they were going to run, Durham again out. Instead, they pitches it to Gibson, who has a lot of clear sailing.
And now this time York gets up and hands it off to Cooper, and Cooper is going nowhere.
Yeah, he got met by 2 shirts right in the hole. Number 34, which was Tyron McClellan, and 63, which is Hunter Booker, were right there waiting on him, and no York blockers there to pick him up.
So now it's going to be 2nd and long, and that's going to do it for the end of the first quarter. We're through one into one. It's Upperman 7, York nothing.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and the gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No!
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Huh. What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
Not a lot of difference between the two teams. Upperman had that one good drive. York has got first downs on all their drives, but it then stalled after they get one. Here they've got it 2nd and long, and they try to take it out to the right side. Stover's going to get past the first one. Stover's got some ground down the left side. He's going to be brought down to the 32-yard line. And the freshman, Gary, when he gets started, he's got a lot of speed.
Yeah, he does, Gary. And, he actually got the corner turn. We got a flag down.
And that may be why he got the corner.
No, they're waving it off.
Yeah, no flag.
But I didn't really see anything. I mean, he got around the corner thanks to a good block by number 55 for York, which that is Landon Martin. And then, he got Isaiah Strong to lead him down the sideline for about another 15 yards. So some really good blocking, some good running by Caden, and a great, York's calling the right plays, Gary. They're getting positive yardage here, and that's what you want to do.
And so now it's 1st and 10 from the Bees' 31-yard line as a quick out this time to Gibson. He can't make the first man miss, and we're going to have a flag, and I think we're going to have a face mask on that one.
Yeah.
It looks like somebody got a little high on that one.
Yeah, we've got two here. We, two options. 33, Zach Stewart was right there, and 34, that Tyrone McClellan again come in to help him out, but looks like we are going to have a face mask, Gary.
So it looks like personal foul, a little face mask action. That'll be a first down for the Dragons, Gary, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, it's just outside the 30, so you get the full penalty here, too. So it should move it down to just inside the 16-yard line, Gary.
And, Gary, the Dragons are knocking on the door. If you just tuned in, we got 11:30 left to go here in the first half, and it's a 7-0 lead for the Bees. But the Dragons marching right now as Jonah Durham going under center. Durham gets the snap, hands it off to Cooper up the middle, and Gary, that middle's just clogged up. There's some big old boys from Upperman there in that middle.
There is. They've got good size on their defensive line, and they're also bringing the linebackers up and trying to fill all the run gaps too, Gary. And that was a quick hitter to the fullback just through the A-gap between the center and the right guard, and it got nothing. It's 2nd and 10 from about the 16.
Big Will Penland, he is number 68. He is 260 pounds coming up. He's a tough guy to run over. He's going to be a big kid to run over, and he was the one that brought the runner down on that one. As now up will come the Dragons. This time they're going to hand it off to Stover, and Stover is not going anywhere, Gary.
No, he may have got a yard, maybe two out of that. I'm not sure, but he, that little bit of misdirection and some counter blocking, it just, too many white shirts in there to block, Gary.
With Stover, Gary, he has got that speed. He's really good to bounce to the outside. I'm surprised they're not taking him a little more to the outside and see if he can't get that corner.
You're playing playing defense, got good speed too, Gary. So you take your chances. You pick your opportunities to run wide, and York's done that effectively so far.
And now Durham's going to fumble the football as Durham fumbles it, and Upperman comes up with it as that one took a nice howdy-do hop right up to number 20, Caden Nash, and Gary, York a turnover. That's something you can't do against a team like Upperman.
Yeah, I mean, they had a quarterback draw called, Gary, and he took the snap and took off running, and the first guy through just kind of swiped at the ball and knocked it out, and Upperman recovers at the 15-yard line, so a big turnover for York, and Coach Wright coaching Jonah up right there. He'll get another opportunity to run that same play a little later. Got to be effective at it.
So now it will be McAllister in the backfield. He'll take the snap. He's going to take it off the left side. Good job by the Dragon defense there. Good play there. I believe that was Johan.
Johan West, he is back there all alone with McAllister and grabbed him by the ankle and pulled him down, Gary. That was an outstanding defensive play by Johan West.
Good one-on-one tackle that time. Open field, and that's tough to bring McAllister down in the open field like that, Gary.
It is. It's still got a gain of a couple of yards out of that, but if he doesn't get him, he's got at least 10 to 15 before he meets another purple jersey.
And now it's going to be McAllister in the shotgun. Got one man behind him. He'll take the snap. Going to pitch it over left side. Got some running room. He's out the outside. Got a first down and more. And I believe that is number 3, if I'm not mistaken.
8. And number 8, Petty.
Number 8 is
Elijah Petty. He was the runner there.
No, that's number 8 is Ty Dutchess.
Sorry, you're right.
Dutchess. I think he was. He had a big one their first drive. He had a big run there. He had a good one there as well. So Ty Dutchess. I guess the Duchess of yardage would be official handle. Is now back in the shotgun. Will go McAllister. He's rolling out. He's looking. He's going to go out deep. And, great throw and great catch. Wow, that was an absolute perfect throw to number 21.
That was Carter Shanks on the catch, and that was great coverage by Wyatt Hawks again. That one got in there, Gary. He tried to get a hand in and just couldn't do it. And York had it covered well, and he just able to get the throw into the perfect spot.
That was an absolutely beautiful throw. I mean, that was a nice spiral, and the only place it could actually go, it actually went between a couple of York defenders and dropped in. And how York didn't get a paw on that, and I'll never know. But now McAllister will come back up. 1st and 10 on York's 44-yard line. McAllister will keep it, and he'll be dropped right there. Good job by the Dragons. And now we got a late flag. I believe number 66 from Upperman going to get a rag on this one, Gary, because he actually leveled one of the York players from behind.
Yeah, he did. Knocked his helmet off, too, so he's going to have to exit the game as well. The play only went for about a yard, Gary. A good job by York to hold up McAllister there, and they're doing that run pass option, and they're waving
that flag off. So the one, number 66, will have to leave the field, though, as his helmet came off. That was Jake Butler. Jake Butler with the
6'4", 295, a small guy there on their offensive line.
He's one of the punier ones that they're. Back up comes McAllister. Now he's got Duchess over to his right side, and now he'll come out quickly. They're going to throw across the middle, a little slant, and dropping it. And York got a big break there, Gary, as number 89 just dropped that one.
Yeah, that ball dropped by Trey Snyder, and York had a guy there. I believe it may have been I
think it was number 14.
Yeah, I believe it was Evan Tompkins. Yeah, Tompkins on the coverage. Tompkins lined up at the defensive end, fell off in coverage there, and able to be there on the coverage to make sure that he couldn't bobble and catch it.
So now it's going to be a 3rd down and 8 for the Bees. Snap back, Rollins McAllister. They're going to get a rush on him. He gets it off, and it's going to be caught. Another great throw by McAllister, Gary, and that looks like that might be Shanks again.
Yeah, another great catch by Shanks, and McAllister's putting it on the spot, Gary, and the receivers are making some good catches. Another one, as he is going out of bounds there, moves it into the red zone inside the 20.
And, Gary, when you mention Upperman, the name Shanks is one of those names you think of right off the bat from Upperman.
It is, They've had a Shanks there for many years, and it looks like Carter going to be the next good Shanks athlete from down there.
So now up come the Bees with just under 7 minutes to go here in the first half, and have we got a timeout called by Upperman? I believe we do. Upperman's going to take a timeout. So timeout on the field. It's 7-0 Upperman. We've got 6:55 to go in the first half.
Twin Lakes is building a fiber broadband network that gives you the connection you need to experience the gig difference. You deserve to stream without buffering, stay connected, or run a business with speed and reliability. With Twin Lakes fiber broadband, you'll have access to speeds up to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber, you'll also have reliable voice solutions, robust TV services, and security and smart control systems for your home or business. Work fast, play hard with fiber from Twin Lakes. Learn more by visiting us online at www.twinlakes.net. Some restrictions apply. Speeds not available in all areas.
So Upperman took the timeout, Gary. They've got a 1st and 10 now, and they're back inside the red zone of York, and York could really use a big defensive stand here.
Yeah, they could. You know, a couple of big defensive plays. York's played well on defense. Upperman making some good throws and some great catches.
So now McAllister will hand it off this time to Duchess, and he will get a couple of yards.
Good hard run up the middle, but a good job by the York interior defense. Ricky Clark in there, and also number 50, Hayden Clark, a couple of the Clarks, and also Edward Stockton in there to help make that tackle to slow that up.
So the Dragons get it. The stop is now a 2nd and 8 with just under 6:40 left to go here in the first half. Upperman, Gary, a lot of folks thought they'd come out and just be able to roll over York, but York's defense have stiffened quite a bit.
York has played very well defensively here in the early going, Gary. Blew that one assignment for the touchdown. Other than that, they've been solid.
And now McAllister's going to throw for the end zone. He's got a man out there, and it's caught. What a catch there by number 4. That is Metzger with the catch, Gary. He was falling down and made the catch.
Yeah, made a diving attempt at it. That ball thrown out towards the sideline away from the defender, and Metzger able to go get it for the touchdown.
So the Bees now go up 13-0, and we got 6:14 left to go here in the first half. And now, Gary, more than anything, York's just got to keep his confidence up. They can't, just roll over here now at this point, even though they're down by 2 touchdowns early.
No, they can't. You've moved the ball on offense at times. You got to keep moving it, Gary. You got to keep running your offense, doing what you do well.
And now the Krolick, I should say, just drilled that one over the field house all the way into the next county as Upperman goes up now 14-0. We got 6:14 left to go here in the first half.
Like a great sports team needs a great captain to lead them, a county needs a great executive to move it forward, and Fentress County has it in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy believes in this county and its endless possibilities. So for great sports and a great county, be like County Executive Jimmy Johnson and back Fentress County all the way.
Well, Gary, it's not too punny. It's the Bees have come out and stung the Dragons for a couple of touchdowns in this first half through the air. We talked to the guys that actually cover them, and he said they didn't expect them to throw very much, but he may have just been giving me a line there.
They're going to throw the ball. They're pretty balanced, and they're showing it tonight. They probably have thrown it a couple more times than they ran it here early. At least in the first quarter, they ran it 3 times, passed it 5. So I think they're pretty balanced.
And McAllister has got an arm, folks. He can throw the football. As now kicking it away will be Krolick. Krolick driving this one toward Stover right at the goal line. It bounces in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Yeah, fortunately that ball bounced into the end zone after it bounced out of his hands, and the referee called a touchback. So York will take over at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
So York, Gary, now really needs to get something going here. You don't want to give the ball back to Upperman. Got 6:07 left to go here. Upperman's going to get the ball to start the second half, so you don't want to give them the ball back here and let them maybe go up 3 touchdowns.
No, you don't. For some reason or another, the clock's running, so I'm trying to figure that one out. But, York going to take over 1st and 10, so.
Now Durham back in the shotgun. Got a man in motion. He'll fake the handoff, roll out. He's going to throw one out. Got a man out there, and that's caught. Great play by Johan West. And, Gary, that time the defender for Upperman, number 21, Shanks, fell down. And if Johan hadn't called that one, I would have thought it would have been a pass interference because he actually tripped him up.
That was clearly pass interference. He had him tripped. Johan, great catch, catching that ball falling down, Gary. He got hit well before the ball got there, and great catch by Johan. First down for York at the 42-yard line. So York in business early on the first play, Gary.
York will bring it up now, 1st and 10 of the 36. It's going to be Durham in the shotgun. Durham's got a man in motion, the freshman Stover. He'll give it to Stover. Stover trying to get that outside. Stover's going to cut back inside. Oh, just a step away from breaking that one. As Gary, he tripped up at the last second. He almost had that one broke.
Yeah, he did, and York's got a player down here.
And that may be Stover.
No, it's 54. I believe that is Talent, maybe.
Yep, that's Aaron Talent.
Aaron Talent down over here and being tended to by the trainer. And a good run by Stover, turned up the field there off of the right side, trying to get wide. Did get wide. Barely did get tripped up by number 21, Carter Shanks. If he didn't, he may get a lot more out of that one.
He might have broke that one. He had a shot at it. Well, we got a timeout on the field as they work on air, and we'll take a break, and we'll be right back after this.
At Hall Family Pharmacy, we are breaking the chain of large chain pharmacies. With our new local low-cost prescription program, this hometown pharmacy is meeting and beating chain pharmacy prices. We are excited to offer a full list of generic prescriptions starting as low as $3. To see if your prescription is offered at these new low costs, check the list on our website, hallfamilypharmacy.com, or give us a call today at either Hall Family Pharmacy location. Hall Family Pharmacy, breaking the chain of national chain pharmacies.
The Gary Maxwell Insurance Office offering area insurance is located at 300 West Central Avenue in Jamestown. Get a free quote for your home, auto, life, or business with no obligation to buy. Call 879-1251. Shane Beatty, Katie Cooper, Tammy Robbins, and Brad Rains agents, along with Jeff Robbins, manager, will be happy to assist you. That's Gary Maxwell Insurance, located 300 West Central Avenue with locations in Livingston, Cookeville, and Gainsboro.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
And they're helping Talon off the field, Gary, and that's not a good sign. He's limping pretty bad with that right leg.
Yeah, he is. Something lower body there, right side. He's depending on the trainers to help get him off the field. Not putting a lot of weight on that.
So now York's got it second and very short, second and about one from their own 45-yard line. There's Durham on the keeper again, Gary, and that one went nowhere. It's coming through number 18. Really had that one stiffed out. Nicholas Stacy, he almost took the handoff, or would have been a handoff.
Yeah, he did, and a loss of about 2 on that one, Gary. So it's going to make it 3rd down 4, and I just saw some good sportsmanship from Upperman out of that. I pay them credit. The trainer come out and helped. They offered Talon a water bottle, and some genuine concern being shown. You like to see that when you're playing sports like this.
And now they're going to hand it off to Gibson, and Gibson's going nowhere. Not Gibson, that's going to be Tompkins. And Gary, we haven't seen Castellon. I'm wondering if Castellon maybe the concussion protocol.
I thought that might be the case. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell and hard to see from here. But the way he walked off the field, it looked like it could have been a situation that put him in protocol.
Yeah, he looked a little bit staggery at that point. As now back to kick it away will be Miller. Good snap. Miller gets the punt off. It's a pretty good one. It's going to hit at about the 30 and roll. and gets all the way down inside the 20. So Miller, Gary, not a lot of air under them, but they're getting a lot of good rolls.
Yeah, they are. And Upperman choosing not to try to field those punts or even return them, Gary. They're just letting them hit and roll. And, that's the second one that McAllister probably could have run up and fielded on a bounce anyhow if he didn't catch it in the air.
Gary, you got 3:24 left to go here in the first half. You got to stop Upperman if you're York this time. You can't go in down 3 scores.
No, you can't. And they get the ball to start the second half as well, Gary. So, you really got to hold them here and get them in long yardage and in a punting situation.
So back to take the snap will be McAllister in the shotgun. He's going to send Duchess up to the line. Snap back, rolling. He's looking out. He's got a man out there. There's Duchess, but at the last minute, great play there by the Dragons, number 15.
That was Stover, and Stover had that ball picked off, Gary, and dropped it as he fell to the ground. That ball was intercepted, and unfortunately couldn't hold it as he fell to the ground and, falls incomplete. But York had that well covered. That ball, a deep ball in the middle of the field. Upperman had 2 guys in the area running to the ball, but York had it covered.
That was almost identical to the first play they scored on, Gary, where they ran out Duchess out to the side, and he come right up the middle, and that almost identical to that play they scored on.
It was.
And now the snap back to McAllister. He's going to keep it. York makes him cut back inside. He'll be spun down after a pickup of about 3 or 4.
Good job by Johan West there. Once again, he's the only guy out there. The blocking was good. They sealed the corner. McAllister got out there one-on-one with Johan. Johan able to make the tackle.
So now it's going to be 3rd down and about 7 for the Bees, maybe 7.5 with 2:44 left to go. This could be a big stop for the Dragons, Gary, if they can get them stopped here and maybe get the ball back and do something before halftime.
Yeah, defense needs to get off the field here, Gary.
So back in the shotgun goes the quarterback, and it's a low snap. It's on the ground, and McAllister's going to pick it up, gets away from 1. Now he's just running for his life. He's up to 20. Now he's into open field in here. He's taking off, and Stover trips him up at the 50, or he would have been gone. And, Gary, what a big play by McAllister on a very badly snapped ball that was a broken play.
Yeah, it was. That ball rolled a good 10 yards back. He picks it up, and Isaiah Strong's there with him, and he beats him around the corner and then gets some open field, and McAllister's hard to control in the open field, and Caden Stover got a hold of a leg there. He saves a touchdown there.
So now the Bees back in business, under 2 minutes to go here in the quarter, and we're headed to halftime of this one. They're up 14-0. They'll hand it off to Duchess, and he'll get up maybe a yard, and not a whole lot more than that, as he was met there by a big Ricky Bobby who just drove him back.
Yeah, good job by Ricky Clark as well as Edward Stockton in there as well. Good job by the York defensive line.
Quite frankly, Gary, you're not going to run over Ricky Clark very often.
No, you're not. And
unless you're driving a semi.
He's the second biggest kid on the field tonight, I think. Upperman got one kid that maybe could match him, but that's about it.
So now it's going to be 2nd and long for the Bees, 2nd and 9 as we go on down to 1:15 left in the quarter. They hand it off Duchess again, Gary, and Duchess going nowhere. And now Clark, and now we got some flags going everywhere, and I believe they're going to get Clark for punch, Gary.
Yeah.
And he may be gone. They may throw him out after that.
Well, it looked like he may have hit a guy on the ground. Good job by Hayden Clark, number 50, to make that play. And then there was some extracurricular activity between Ricky Clark and the left tackle for Upperman. I didn't get the number, but Clark they both ended up on the ground. Clark on top of him. Clark did take a swing at him.
Yeah, and then when they pulled him up, the one that pulled him off, Gary, he took a swing at him as well. So that may be it for Clark tonight, and Coach Rod giving him the right act right now. He doesn't like that kind of play at all. That's hurting yourself. That is not hurting the other team. That's hurting yourself and your team.
It is, and you're right. Ricky's night may be over here, and the referee's got the pads out. That's generally not a good thing. Yeah. So
we'll see
they're
what
moving the ball down the field too.
And now they're coming over to talk to Derwin and Coach Derwin Wright, and that's I don't know, Gary. That's a tough play. That's the temper starting to flare. York's just that's some of the frustration coming out from the past few games.
Yeah, it is, and Coach Wright trying to take Ricky's defense here. You know, he did get thrown to the ground, but it looks like he's going to be thrown out of this one.
And it will be Upperman now with the first down and the 10 at York's 30-yard line with 1:07 left to go here in the first half. They'll wind the clock. Snap back to McAllister. McAllister going to throw it downfield. Got a man cutting open and, dropped it. York got a big break there, Gary, because he hit him dead stride, and Shanks couldn't hang on to it.
Boy, he hit him right on the money, and he had the York defenders beat. Caden Stover had the coverage. Stoneman coming from the other side trying to cover that, and but he had them both beat to the goal post of the end zone. The ball on the money, he just dropped it.
Yeah, that was just a drop by the Bees, and now the Dragons need a stop here. It's 56 seconds left to go here in the first half. Upperman on top 14-0. Snap back. It'll be McAllister rolling out. He's got a man wide open over there on the side, Gary. That's number 4. He'll go out of bounds as Metzger on the catch.
Yeah, that's Metzger. Jonah Durham on the coverage. Just couldn't get there, Gary, in that pass. Completed down to about the 13-yard line, 14-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 with 48 seconds to go.
Upperman scores here, Gary. That broken play earlier when York cannot make the tackle is going to come back to really haunt them in this one.
It is. It was a big play and a big third down that they converted, but, York trying to make the stop here to end the half.
So York needs to stop here as Upperman comes up with 48 seconds left to go in the quarter. Back in the shotgun goes McAllister. He's got a man in motion. Now we'll give it off to Duchess. Duchess over the left side. Duchess going to cut back inside. He's going to be close to the first down, but not in the end zone, but he'll be close to a 1st and goal.
Yeah, Upperman saw the line and actually shifted their fullback, number 20, Caden Nash, just shifted him to the left side to give him an extra blocker, and he led Duchess around the left end down to about the 4-yard line.
And Upperman's going to take a timeout with 30.8 seconds left to go here in the first half. It's a 14-0 Bees lead.
If you're from the South, people make assumptions like that you wake up at dawn to blast country music in your pickup truck. En route to McDonald's for delicious buttermilk crispy chicken. Well, that last one's true. Embrace the Southern stereotype and wake up with new buttermilk crispy chicken McGriddles. Warm griddle cakes with the sweet taste of maple and all white meat chicken for only $3. Or get a buttermilk crispy chicken biscuit for $3. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Well, the Dragons, Gary, need a stop here, but the Bees are knocking on the door here, and they go in 3 scores that go into halftime. That's going to be tough to come back on.
Yeah, it is, and it's 1st and goal from the 4, so Upperman down here close. York got to stop them.
Look for the now we got a flag right off the bat, and they're going to whistle that one dead as that one's they got close to the end zone, but
he's
did not get in.
going to call them for a shift again.
Illegal shift, that's the favorite call of the night, evidently. That must be.
Yeah, it was clear the call come from the referee. They didn't blow it dead, so it it was obviously an illegal shift. So it'll back them up 5 to the 9-yard line.
And cost them 6 seconds.
And cost them 6 seconds. Not that would probably matter a whole lot to them here. More important, York hold them here for at least 2 more downs, maybe 3.
I'll look for the McAllister on the keeper on this one as back on the fullback get in motion. They're going to give it off. No, it is going to be McAllister on the keeper, and he's going to be dropped, Gary. Not much gain at all on that one, and Upperman may have to take another timeout and will.
Yeah, they did. Good job by Ben Cooper and Zach Gibson to make that stop, but that's one McAllister probably should have gave to his back. His back had a little more of a running lane. It closed it up once he decided to keep it.
And 9.6 seconds to go. We'll keep it right here. This time, Gary, York you need to stop here. If you're Upperman, though, do you go for the field goal? You know you got a great kicker in Krolik.
Well, they're going to try to run a play. You know, they're an effective passing team. They're going to throw something to the end zone here. Backed all the way up to the 11-yard line now, so they went backwards here on the first couple of plays, and so they're going to throw a ball to the end zone, try to get a touchdown out of this. If not, they'll probably line up and kick the field goal, I would think.
That was an awfully slow developing play for Upperman on that last one as well. It seemed like it took forever for it to get going, and then it didn't go anywhere with only 24 seconds. That's not the kind of play you want to run.
No, it's not. You know, they shifted the fullback again and tried to run behind him off of that left side once again, Gary. Like I said, probably should have gave it to the back coming through, but didn't, and it cost them a couple of yards and about 15 seconds here. And now time is on York's side. They got one more play here. They need to hold them, Gary.
McAllister takes a snap. He'll look in the end zone, throws it for the end zone, wide open, number 3 for the touchdown.
Yeah, Thomas Enzer on the catch. That was a quick hitting play, and he just ran right behind Caden Stover and White Hawks and was wide open in the end zone. York bringing the blitz off the corner, just couldn't get there.
So now it will be Krolik to try to make this a 21-point lead for the Bees. And this with 4.7 seconds left to go in the quarter. And Upperman will get the ball to start the second half. So York's really finding themselves in a dangerous situation here as Krolik gets the kick up, and it's good. So with 4.7 seconds to go in the first half, Upperman now leads it 21-0.
Crisp air, cool breeze, fall leaves. All the things autumn brings. It also brings Carrier's Fall Cool Cash Rebate Promotion. Now until December 15th. Take advantage of discounts on select energy-efficient heating and air conditioning units. With financing options to fit any budget, you'll be ready to jump into fall and tackle any weather that comes your way. Carrier, turn to the experts. Call Condition Heating and Cooling for your free estimate today.
Conditioned heating and cooling.
And, Gary, you look at this first half, and for York, it was maybe a half of missed opportunities. They had the ball deep in the Bees' territory, fumbled it away.
Yeah, they did. 7-0 ball game, and fumbled that one away. And what happened is Upperman was able to shift field position, then got it back and scored. And then, got a couple, drove that one, Gary. That ball was deep in York territory to start that drive. They brought it 80-plus yards for the touchdown there.
And kicking it away now will be Krolik. And York's got their backmen up quite a ways. They're expecting, I guess, a pooch kick. And he just drills it all the way back down to about the 4-yard line. And it's dropped by Tolman and goes in the end zone. And once again, York gets a break, Gary, with 3.9 seconds to go. Really not a whole lot you can do with that. Needing 80 yards.
No, I don't expect much here. 3.9 seconds to go in the half. You're going to run something, try to get to the locker room, you think, and try to regroup here, come out in the second half.
And so now York will have one last play to go here in the quarter, barring a penalty. And then we will be at halftime. But as we mentioned earlier, Gary, Upperman gets the ball to start the second half as well.
Yeah, they do. So York will be on defense again here to start the third quarter.
And York has been on defense quite a bit tonight as the Bees swarm up the handoff. It gets about 2 yards, and that's going to be your halftime score. We're at halftime of this one, and so far it's Upperman on top. They lead it 21-0. We'll be back in just a few minutes with our halftime stats.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and a gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No!
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
Mark your calendars. You are invited to the Twin Lakes annual meeting of members on October 5th. Join us at the Jackson County Middle School as we recap the past year and prepare for the next. Registration runs from noon to 2 p.m. and don't forget to bring your ID. There will be great door prizes and gifts. You will not want to miss this event. Visit one of our 7 local offices for more information. We hope to see you there.
At Meta-Through Pharmacy, managing your medications has never been easier. We are the first pharmacy in the Upper Cumberland to offer strip packaging for your medications. Our MedPack strip packaging organizes your meds in easy-to-open pouches organized by date and time you take your meds. It's simple, convenient, and certain. Let us take the worry out of your medications today. For more information, call 879-8133, or we invite you to come by and see our strip packaging machine today.
Back here at halftime of this one, and at the half, it's Upperman on top 21-0. Time now for the Old Ben Franklin halftime stats. We'll be back with those right after this from Old Ben Franklin Ford, where Fords are cheaper, folks, if you get them in the country. So head on over to Wartburg.
Hello, everyone. This is Bruce Babb, GM of Old Ben Franklin Ford in Wartburg, Tennessee. We all know it's football time, and we would like to kick off the season with 6 reasons to purchase a vehicle from Old Ben Franklin Ford. 1, interest rates are low. We have rates as low as 0%. 2, factory incentives on new vehicles are at an all-time high. 3, we have a great selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. 4, we say yes when others say no. 5, the highest amount is given for your trade. 6, great service after the sale. And now for the extra point, let's go for 2. Buy any new car, truck, or SUV and receive 2 years worth of free maintenance. Let us show you why our customer satisfaction is in the top 2%. Call or visit us today, 1-877-NEW-FORD. Visit us online at oldbenfranklinford.com. Folks, remember, Fords are cheaper out in the country.
And back here at the half, Gary, take a look at our halftime stats brought to you by Old Ben Franklin Ford.
Well, of course, the big stat, it's 21-0 Upperman at halftime. In the first half, York, 6 first downs. They had 20 carries for 85 yards, Gary, 3 or 4 through the air for 26 yards, 24 total plays, 111 yards. Upperman had 13 carries, 97 yards, 8 of 13 through the air for 152 yards, 26 plays, 249 yards in the first half. Otherwise, penalty-wise, both teams 3 penalties, 25 yards. York win in time of possession by almost 3 minutes in the first half. Individually for York in the first half, they were led by Caden Stover, 4 carries, 35 yards. Zach Gibson, 2 for 16. Jonah Durham, 6 for 16. And Evan Tompkins, 2 for 11. Jonah Durham, 3 of 4 through the air for 26 yards. And those were caught. Johan West caught 1 for 17. Thaddeus Tolman caught 1 for 9. Zach Gibson caught 1 for nothing. And for Upperman in the first half, they were led in rushing by Donovan McAllister, 6 carries, 68 yards. Ty Dutchess, 7 carries, 29 yards. McAllister, 8 of 13 through the air, 152 yards and 3 touchdowns, Gary. Receiving, Carter Shanks has caught 3 for 60. Daniel Metzger caught 2 for 34 in the touchdown. Ty Dutchess caught 1 for 41 in a touchdown. And Thomas Enzers caught 1 for 10 in a touchdown. Tackling, it'll be Wyatt Hawks, Jonah Durham, Ricky Clark with 3 tackles each for York in the first half. Upperman led by Carter Shanks with 6 total tackles. Individual scoring, 5:49 in the first quarter. It was Ty Dutchess, a 41-yard pass for Donovan McAllister. Trey Krolik kick was good, 7-0. In the second quarter, 6:14 to go, it was Daniel Metzger, a 17-yard pass from Donovan McAllister. Krolik with the kick, it was 14-0. And then 4 seconds ago in the first half, it was Thomas Enzer on a 10-yard pass from McAllister. The Krolik kick was good, and 21-0's the halftime score.
And the score is bad enough, Gary, but also in this first half, York has lost probably Ricky Clark. They've lost Aaron Talent, and they've lost Nathaniel Castellon. So they've had 3 go down, or 2 go down, 1 ejected in this first half.
Yeah, they've had some injuries in the first half, and it's it's been a hard-hitting game, and it's been it's been tough, and it's been physical, and York has held their own, and they moved the ball. They just haven't been able to get big first downs, and more importantly, you get in that red zone, you can't fumble it away, and they did that in the first half.
So we're at halftime of this one. Our halftime stats being brought to you by the old Ben Franklin Ford over in Wartburg. Remember, folks, Fords are cheaper over in the country. Hey, we got second half coming up in just a moment. Right after this word from old Ben Franklin, we got a song for you coming up from the Lovers. They're going to be performing tomorrow out at the Pumpkin Festival, so if you get a chance, check that out. But we'll be back here after the halftime break, and we'll have the second half for you. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, everyone. This is Bruce Babb, GM of Old Ben Franklin Ford in Wartburg, Tennessee. We all know it's football time, and we would like to kick off the season with 6 reasons to purchase a vehicle from Old Ben Franklin Ford. 1, interest rates are low. We have rates as low as 0%. 2, factory incentives on new vehicles are at an all-time high. 3, we have a great selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. 4, we say yes when others say no. 5, the highest amount is given for your trade. 6, great service after the sale. And now for the extra point, let's go for 2. Buy any new car, truck, or SUV and receive 2 years worth of free maintenance. Let us show you why our customer satisfaction is in the top 2%. Call or visit us today, 1-877-NEW-FORD. Visit us online at oldbenfranklinford.com. Folks, remember, Fords are cheaper out in the country.
And back here, we're getting ready for the second half to get underway. And, Gary, we're just talking about it here at halftime. It looks like we may be going to have a quarterback change in this second half for York.
Yeah, Isaiah Strong getting loose over here, taking some snaps, making some throws over here on the sidelines. We get ready to start the second half. So it looks like, Coach Wright may be making a change here. And, I'm sure that Isaiah gives them a different dynamic, so we'll see what that is in the second half and what the playbook may look like with him under center.
And Gary, we don't see Castellon back out there. I'm sure I'm assuming that he may be, as we said, concussion protocol. They may have had to take him and have him checked. I'm not sure, but.
Yeah, they also, Aaron Talent, I saw them help him to the locker room just before halftime as well. So, I'm sure Aaron's not going to be back either. Right leg injury there of some sort.
And I don't see a 77 out there, so I'm assuming that Clark is not going to be coming back tonight. I think he got ejected during that scuffle he was in earlier.
I'm almost positive he did. Anytime the officials pull out the little notepad and start writing it, that's generally not a good thing.
Yeah, they're not writing their order for tonight's after-dinner meal or after-game meal, that's for sure, because it's going to be tough, though, for the Dragons. Gary, one thing they've got to do, though, they've got to come up with a stop on this first possession.
Yeah, they do. They've got to stop them, and, Upperman's going to try to score a couple of times here and get the clock running. They're going to try to get out of here. It's going to be York's task to make a stop and then get something going offensively.
Gary, how impressed are you with McAllister in his first half?
Well, he's an outstanding quarterback. He really runs their offense. He makes it go. We were talking before the game, he's going to play college football, but he's not going to play offense in college. He's going to be a safety. He's going to play defense in college. That's his strong suit. He's a good quarterback as he is. He's even better defensive player than a safety. So he'll play defense in college, but he's definitely going to play college football. And, he's talented. He's made all the throws, Gary. He's put you right on the money. I mean, I hadn't seen a bad throw. There may have been one bad throw. I don't remember it right offhand, and
maybe the high one to Metzger out here, but he should have called anyway.
Yeah, but I mean everything's been right there, and he does. They give him a game plan, he executes it, and that you can't ask for any more than that.
So now the Dragons will kick off to start this second half, and Upperman will have the football. And as we said, this is one of those situations where the Dragons really need to come out and do something, maybe get a stop here. And you know Upperman's going to be thinking, Gary, maybe an onside kick to start this second half.
You know, they may be looking at that. You know, they really hadn't, of course, York hadn't kicked off tonight, but they on the punch, you know, they haven't put any effort into making a return, Gary. So they, you know, see what they do with this kickoff here. It'll be Caden Stover to kick it off.
The freshman going to line up, and here we go. The second half's underway. It's going to be a short kick, and that one's going to take a big hop up to number 80, who's up over the 20 to the 30. He's going to get out the outside and get to the 33-yard line, and a good return there by the Bees, number 20, I believe it was. Or was
Actually, it's number 80.
80.
And I'm trying to find 80 here. I believe that is the other Duchess. It's Jacob Duchess.
So the one Duchess is number 8, the other Duchess is number 80. So those, I'm sure, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say those are probably brothers.
Yeah, I think so. Jacob, he's a sophomore, and of course Ty, he's a senior.
So now the handoff goes up. No, it's going to be a keeper again by McAllister. Gets to the 40.
Good job by White Hawks to trip him up. A little option look there, and McAllister faked the pitch and turned it up the field and got about 6-7 yards out of that, Gary.
And he's flexing his leg a little bit. Gary, that's something I'm sure Upperman definitely doesn't want, is to see him get injured.
No, they don't. You know, good hard tackle there by Hawks. Flipped him up in the air.
So now it's going to be second and short for the Bees. They got a second and about 4. In the shotgun will go McAllister. Got a man in motion. That's Duchess. They're going to hand it off this time left side and banging straight ahead for the first down and more. And I think ball may have come out, but he fell back on it. Was number 33. That is Stewart. That's the first we've seen him tonight.
Yeah, first time we've seen him. Duchess has carried the load so far, but you know, Stewart on that carry, and another gain of about 7 and a first down.
First and 10 for the Bees. We've got 10:50 left to go here in the third quarter. Upperman on top, 21-0. And in the shotgun, it goes McAllister. He'll keep it himself, go right side. He's got some room. He's got one man to beat, and he's done that. He's headed to the end zone for a touchdown, Bees.
Great play. They got a good block to seal the corner, and then the wide receiver just erased the cornerback out there, and there's nobody to catch him. And, you know, McAllister, a kid with good speed, Gary, and he's easily into the end zone. 53 yards.
A 53-yard run, and Gary, that one, nobody put a hand on him. I mean, he never even got touched all the way down the field. So now it'll be Krolik to try to add on the extra point. And Krolik will set. The snap, it's down, the kick is up, the kick is good, and now Upperman quickly here in the third quarter takes a 28-0 lead.
It's time now for York football trivia, brought to you by State Representative John Mark Wendell.
What former York coach played college football at New Mexico State? And the answer is Walter Tipton.
York football trivia brought to you by State Representative John Mark Wendell.
Well, Gary, Upperman did what we said that York couldn't let them do. They just took it right down the field and scored.
Yeah, they did. You know, big yard. You know, the 7 yards, 7, then 53 yards. You know, 7, and 53, and you know, big run by McAllister for the touchdown. And York going to get the ball, and we'll see what happens at quarterback here when they come out to begin this second half.
York, of course, their starting quarterback for the season was Dalton Barger, and Barger got injured in the game against Grace Christian and hasn't been back since. Probably won't be back till around the Cannon County game. As they kick off now by Krolik. Krolik with the kick, and it's going to be taken at about the 5-yard line, coming up the left side and break it, and that's Stover. Gary, Stover's just been that close to breaking 3 tonight.
He has, and, he had that one, had a couple of guys to beat out there, and actually that was 21 Shanks on the, if he gets past him, he's only got one guy to beat, but Shanks gets him down about the 37-yard line.
This is
35-yard line.
This is one good-looking freshman playing for the Dragons, as he's done some big things this year. Had one kickoff return for a touchdown, and here he's had a couple. He's almost broke here. As now it is going to be handed off this time to Gibson, and Gibson's going to be hit immediately, Gary, and he's going to be dropped back to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, loss of one, and it is Isaiah Strong, in the shotgun there taking that snap. So, running play to Gibson off the right side on first down, nothing doing. Upperman's done a good job of filling the running gaps tonight. York hadn't really had anywhere to run between the tackles. Their success running the football has been wide.
And so now they'll come up with a second and about 9 for the first down. Got a man in motion. They're going to fake it, and York's going to get another penalty. They'll throw that one out there strong with the pass. Almost brought down by Toman, then almost picked off by number 8 Duchess, but we got an illegal shift again, Gary.
That referee likes calling that one, Gary. That's the 4th time he's called that tonight, twice on each team, and this will back York up 5 yards. Be second and be about second and 19.
No, they're going to wave it off. They're not going to accept it, so they're going to.
They're actually going to decline. I believe I probably would have declined that penalty. You already have them third and 9. Yeah, so your defense playing pretty good, so they decide to decline the penalty and put York still long yardage, 3rd and 9.
And Strong, Gary, hit Toman. Toman should have had that reception, but he wouldn't have counted anyway, but that's a good-looking throw.
Threw it behind him just a little bit, Gary, and Toman were able to reach back, get his hands on it, but he tipped it up in the air. Probably almost could have been intercepted by Ty Duchess.
And now the snap back, it's going to be Strong rolling out. He'll throw it out. Got a man out there and can't hang on to it as that one got to the Dragons' Alex Cranover, Gary, and Cranover just couldn't hang on because he got rocked once it hit him.
Yeah, he did. He got hit, and we seen him take a knee there, but here he comes off. But good throw by Strong. It was on the money, Gary, and dropped again. It would have been short of the first down, but it's out here where it's 4-down territory for York. But now instead they're going to have to punt it away.
And they'll punt it back is Miller. Miller gets the punt off, and there's another one that's going to take a big bounce and roll York's way and get to the 33-yard line. And Gary, I'm like you. I'm surprised that McAllister's not coming up and fielding any of those. They're high enough he could get under them, but he's just letting them hit and roll.
Yeah, he is. They're not fielding the punt for whatever reason tonight, and has allowed York to back them up a few yards. That one not so much. But, York unfortunately having to punt this away, Gary, and Upperman going to take over at their own 33-yard line.
Gary, and another Upperman score, and his clock is a continuous clock from that point on because we'll be in the mercy rule at now it's going to be handed off this time over the right side. That'll get about a yard. I don't know if that even got a yard. That looked like it may have lost a yard.
They're going to give him about 1, and that was Duchess on the carry. Good job by York to plug that thing up.
For the most part, Gary, York has handled the run by Upperman as far as the backs are concerned, but it's been the quarterback, McAllister, having big plays, especially on that broken play down here where the bad snap and he picked it up 10 yards deep and still got about 50 yards out of it. So it was, it's been his running and his passing that's actually kept Upperman or give Upperman this big lead.
It has. He's been in control of this offense all night long, Gary.
Now quick out this time to Duchess over here on the right side, and he's going to be run out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. Good job by White Hawks to come over and knock him out of play. That's going to bring up a big third down coming up for Upperman.
Yeah, White Hawks played pretty well defensively tonight, Gary. Has covered a couple of passes and made a couple of tackles, made a good tackle there. It looked like Duchess might get that to the corner, and he sealed the corner and knocked him out of bounds after a gain of about 5.
Well, he and Johan West have both made some good plays tonight.
They have. They both covered this balanced passing attack from Upperman, and have, York's had good coverage on them.
Our back now goes McAllister. McAllister looking, got a man out there, throws it, and that's going to be just enough for the first down. Caught it with the knee down and right at just beyond the first down marker and right at the 44-yard line. So 1st and 10 Bees.
Yeah, that's Trey Snyder on the catch, his first catch of the night, but came to a knee when he caught it, but got just enough for the first down.
Gary, he just went pretty much, he was one of those marker turners there. He just went to the marker and turned around.
Yeah, he did. They had about 3 guys run the same route, different parts of the field, and McAllister had his choice of a couple out there to the right and chose Snyder for the catch.
Yeah, McAllister's not throwing to just one person here. He's throwing it all over the field.
He is. He's been outstanding tonight. He hasn't missed much.
McAllister back in the shotgun, got a man in motion. That's Duchess, but they're going to hand it off up the middle and bang it straight ahead of Stewart. And once again, York handles the backs from Upperman.
Yeah, they do. And, York doing a good job pushing the back and a gain of about 1, maybe 2. They may give him about 1.5 yards on that one, actually. So be about 2nd and 8.
Gary, I'm not sure on the ruling as far as being tossed from a game, but I think you are out for the next upcoming game as well. Am I right?
I'm not positive in the high school ranks what it is, but he was definitely tossed out of the game, so it may cost him the next one as well.
And now this time it's going to be on the keeper. It's going to be McAllister. He'll cut back inside, gets up over midfield to about the 48 of York.
That was White Hawks. York wasn't lined up right, and they were trying to get guys out here to cover the left side of the field, and White Hawks was running and saw the ball turned up and turned it back in and made that tackle, or McAllister probably gets a first down out of it.
And McAllister came up a little gimpy after that one as well.
He hit him hard. He hit him low and hit him hard. Good tackle.
So he's getting the play now, and if I'm Upperman's quarterback or Upperman's coach, I'm not going to be running him too much more. I'm going to be letting him either throw the ball or hand it off to somebody. I would try to save him, keep him from getting hurt.
Yeah, I look to see some substitutions coming on here pretty shortly.
We've got 4:58 left to go here in the third quarter, and now banging straight ahead is big number 33, Stewart, for the 1st and 10.
Yeah, down to the 34-yard line, so that will move the chains.
Just under 5 minutes left to go here in quarter number 3, and it's a 28-0 Upperman lead. Halftime score from down at Clay County was 39-0. Clay County leading Pickett at the half. Next week we'll be on the road to Gainesboro. We'll be back to Jackson County for the Pickett County-Jackson County game. York got the week off. And, Gary, it's going to be a week off York's really going to need with all these injuries.
It is. It hopefully be a chance for them to get some players healthy and be ready to go to Sequatchie County in a couple of weeks.
McAllister going to hand it off over this time, and number 8, Duchess, gets leveled over. Somebody hit him low, and then he got drilled up high.
That was Ben Cooper that put the big hit on him, Gary, and he did. He hit him hard. And
looks like Johan was the one that held him up.
Yeah, Johan had him, and then Ben Cooper finished it. That's going to be a loss of about 1 yard.
So now it's 2nd and long for the Bees as we go into the 4-minute mark here in the third quarter. York trailing 28-0. Upperman trying to get to that running clock and the mercy rule if they can score again. McAllister back in the shotgun, and we're going to have a timeout called by Upperman. Upperman didn't like something. They take a timeout, so we will too. We'll tell you the score. Once again, it's Upperman 28, York nothing. We've got 3:42 to go in the third.
If you're from the South, people make assumptions, like that you wake up at dawn to blast country music in your pickup truck. En route to McDonald's for delicious buttermilk crispy chicken. Well, that last one's true. Embrace the Southern stereotype and wake up with new buttermilk crispy chicken McGriddles. Warm griddle cakes with the sweet taste of maple and all white meat chicken for only $3. Or get a buttermilk crispy chicken biscuit for $3. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Upperman takes a timeout, Gary. They saw something they didn't like, and they decided to take a timeout, so now we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah, they took it pretty quick, too, Gary. Don't know if they didn't have the right personnel out there or what the deal was, but they did take the time out, and they're lined up 2nd and 11.
McAllister back in the shotgun. He's got Duchess to his right, takes the snap. He'll throw that one out quickly, this time to Metzger. Still on his feet. Metzger breaks another tackle. He cuts back cross field, and Metzger's headed for the end zone if Hawks can't cut him off. Hawks going to try to shove him out of bounds, but he can't. Touchdown Bees. And, Gary, there was a couple of really bad missed tackles by the Dragons.
It was. They had him out here for not much of a gain, 3 or 4 yards, and he slips one tackle and then slips another one, able to turn it back to the middle of the field. And once he did that and had some running room, he just ran by the rest of the York defense.
And so now it's 34-0, and Krolik going to try to tack on the point after. And this would be, for the Bees, would put them in the mercy rule. And this clock will not start, so this second half will go really quick after this. If Krolik can be down a high snap, but Krolik drills it anyway. And the Bees now lead it 35-0. We got 3:23 left to go in the third quarter.
Whether you're competing on the athletic field or working hard in the classroom, remember you have the support of First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. We're behind you 100% of the way. Good luck to all the area teams. Play tough and play fair. And remember, when it comes to helping you with your banking needs, we're First Volunteer Bank, the bank with personality. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And now over and over, it's First Volunteer for you.
Well, Gary, we just realized here just a moment ago now that Caden Stover also out. We see him headed out. York's the walking wounded right now.
Yeah, they are. Another big injury, but, he had his pads off, and it looked like it was a shoulder injury for Caden Stover. So looks like York will be without him for the rest of the night, and it's Zach Gibson going to join White Hawks deep on this kickoff.
Now, York has already lost the Castellon. They lost him earlier, then Talent, and then Ricky Clark ejected. So they've lost those three, plus now Caden Stover. And I don't know if we got any cheerleaders that might can suit up over there or not, Gary, but we're going to have some bodies here before long. Long kick going to be down. This time it's going to be Gibson, I believe. No, it's going to be Hawks on the return up to the 25-yard line, where he is dumped, and now it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Dragons, and the clock going to run now, folks. We're down to 3:09 left to go in the third quarter, and actually the clock not running. I just said that, and the clock's not running, but
change of possession here. I'd say it'll stop. It should start running, though, once the ball's put in play, and there he is. He's winding it.
Yeah, he's winding it now, so we'll go down under the 3-minute mark here in the third quarter, and York trailing 35-0 here in this one. As up will come the Dragons.
Jonah Durham back at quarterback, Gary.
And he'll step back there and get the snap. Hands it off. No, he's going to pitch it this time over the left side, and that is Tompkins, I believe, on the carry, going to be stacked up.
Yeah, he ran the option, made the pitch, and Upperman just collapsing on it, and that'll be a loss of, I guess they're going to give him the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10.
So no loss on the play, but no gain either. So it's going to be 2nd and 10, and we're down to the about 2-minute mark of the third quarter. And Gary, for York, barring a miracle, is back to regroup, and they've got 2 weeks to do it, though.
Yeah, they do. You got to live with this one for a couple of weeks, but it'll be a good opportunity, hopefully get some kids well and practice on Sequatchie County.
And they're going to hand that one off up the middle to Ben Cooper, and that, Gary, has not went anywhere all night. Ben Cooper's not been able to get nothing started tonight.
No, they have, not only are they big on their defensive line, but they have shot linebackers through the gaps all night long. There's just no running between the tackles whatsoever.
Tompkins going to come back in as West will check out. 1:33 left to go in the third quarter. York with the football trailing 35-0 in this one. Under center goes Durham. Takes the snap. This time going to throw a quick out. There's Toman with a reception of the 33, and he's going to be stopped right there. But that was a good-looking throw from Durham, Gary. He hit Toman right in stride.
Yeah, he did. They're going to mark this about the 33.5-yard line, and it's going to be fourth down and about 3.5, 4 yards here, Gary. They're saying 2 on the clock. I believe that's about 2.5 anyhow.
Yeah, at least. And we're down under 45 seconds in the third quarter by the time this one snapped. And York, I believe, is going to go for it, Gary.
Yeah, they've got the offense on the field, and it's fourth down here, and they're hurrying.
They're going to rush to the line as you're going to try to get the snap off really quick. Upperman trying to catch them off balance, and now York had movement in the line over there. That's going to be Gibson over there on that right wing moved.
We had 2 or 3 move, actually, Gary, and Gibson was probably the first one. I saw the left tackle, number 55. That's Landon Martin. He moved, but I believe you're right. Gibson was the first one.
Actually, West was on the was actually in motion to I don't know what they were setting up, but anyway, it backfires and they go back 5 yards, and it's time to punt the ball again. And here comes Miller back to punt it away.
Yeah, Miller hadn't played tonight except the punt, Gary. He has not been in the game, so taking it easy with Thomas as well.
And here's another one, and that one's one that just didn't hit and drop was McAllister. And, Gary, I just don't think McAllister wants to return the punts.
Well, he wants to return the punt. I think he's under orders not to return the punt, and I've seen enough of him to know he'd be happy to return some of these kicks, especially that one. That one laid about 3 yards to the left of him.
Yeah, he should have been able to easily run under that one, but that's going to do it for the third quarter. We're through 3 of them, and it's all Upperman as we head into the final frame, 35-0 Upperman.
Quality workmanship and exceptional customer service have defined Southeastern Drywall and Construction of Jamestown. From custom-built homes, residential construction, remodeling to commercial construction, Southeastern Drywall and Construction is dedicated to providing the best quality at reasonable prices. We're also looking for good carpenters. Call Southeastern Drywall and Construction at 931-267-5435, a proud supporter of sports and education in our area.
Well, Gary, we're through 3 of them, and for York now, it's it's going to be almost impossible for them to get back in this one.
Yeah, the running clock and everything else. Generally, when you get that clock to running, you're in a game. You're just kind of trying to play to the end. It's important for York to have a good fourth quarter, though, especially offensively. You hadn't gotten the end zone tonight. You've been in the red zone once and fumbled it away. They need to get points on the board. So, it's going to be important that they come out and run their offense and try to be effective doing it.
And now back in the shotgun goes Upperman. And I believe we may have a new quarterback for Upperman.
Yeah, it's Thomas Enzer, number 3, who's come in at quarterback. He's a 6-foot junior. So McAllister's night's over behind her anyhow.
And he hands that one off for a couple of yards, and it's going to be second and long now. And it's a situation now where York needs to get some of these younger kids in, Gary, because right now you're going to need some depth because you got a lot of injuries.
Yeah, you do. You got a lot of players down right now, and the bye week probably couldn't come at a better time for York.
Ends are going to hand it off again. That one's going to go over the left side and picking up some good yardage. Now we see a flag late in this one.
Yeah, good job by Evan Tompkins there to make that tackle on Stewart, and we got a face mask against York.
Yeah, so York gets a stop, but it's going to be a face mask, going to make it a 1st and 10 for the Bees.
Yeah, they are, and I think we got a York player down out here too.
Got one number 62 flexing his leg a bit. I think
that's Edward Stockton.
And Edwards had some problems, health problems this season.
Has played in every game. Done a good job tonight. That's a big penalty, though. Moves it into York territory, Gary.
And the Bees drive stays alive as they will come up. It'll be Enzer in the shotgun. He's got 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Got a one-man backfield. He'll hand it off to the man to come up the middle, and he'll get it straight ahead to the 45-yard line. And he comes up pushing and shoving. And there he throws again. Now his flag's going everywhere as now there's another flag. There's flags going everywhere. It looks like a Veterans Day parade out here right now, all the flags flying.
I'm afraid some referees are going to have very short tempers here, or very short. They're not going to allow this, and I think you're getting ready to see a bunch of things happen.
Yeah,
it would have been all right, but I think Ben Cooper, probably will get, and they're going to wind the clock while this is going on too. But Ben exasperated moves, and that brought even more flags, and you may see a couple of ejections.
It looked like one of the Upperman players actually shoved Cooper and maybe threw a punch, but
he did, and that was number 33. That was Zach Stewart, who actually gave him the forearm shiver, to start all this. And I noticed they escorted Stewart to the sideline. He's still standing over there, but
so his night's probably done as well.
And they've got the notepad out again, Gary. That's never a good thing.
And like we said, I'm not sure. If I'm not mistaken, if you're ejected from the game, you have to miss the next game. So we'll see what happens here. We got flags going everywhere, so York can ill afford to have any more kids thrown, but they're giving them the numbers right now, Gary, and we'll see who comes off the field. And as you mentioned, the clock is running, so as long as these officials take to do this, the clock's just going to keep running, and York's going to see the time dwindle even faster. And this one's got uglier than a last-minute prom date here in the last few minutes.
It has, and there's a lot going on, and we see somebody running in, and somebody's going to run off here, I believe.
Is it Martin they're going to bring out?
Actually, it's Edward Stockton that's coming off. I don't think he was.
I think Stockton's more maybe his foot. I'm not sure what's going to happen on this one, but
it'll
wait
be
on the call.
We'll see what else happens. It'll be interesting to see if Stewart comes back in the game. I think he could have been the ejected party here.
Yeah, so now it's going to be second and long. But they threw a lot of flags, Gary, but no penalty. I mean, no mark off of any kind.
It was all offsetting, Gary.
Okay.
Yeah, they signaled it, and it was all offsetting. So, it's going to stay where it's at, 2nd and 8 from the 45-yard line. More importantly, they ran off almost 2.5 minutes trying to get all this straightened out. So, one way or the other, the clock continued to run through all this.
So York now will have, or Upperman will now have it 2nd and about 7. And are we going to get a timeout?
Yeah, timeout Upperman.
So timeout called by the Bees. Timeout on the field. 7:27 to go in the ball game. It's 35-0 Upperman.
Like a great sports team needs a great captain to lead them, a county needs a great executive to move it forward. And Fentress County has it in Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy believes in this county and its endless possibilities. So for great sports and a great county, be like County Executive Jimmy Johnson and back Fentress County all the way.
At Hall Family Pharmacy, we are breaking the chain of large chain pharmacies. With our new local low-cost prescription program, this hometown pharmacy is meeting and beating chain pharmacy prices. We are excited to offer a full list of generic prescriptions starting as low as $3. To see if your prescription is offered at these new low costs, check the list on our website, hallfamilypharmacy.com, or give us a call today at either Hall Family Pharmacy location. Hall Family Pharmacy, breaking the chain of national chain pharmacies.
So after all that, Gary, we had a timeout taken by Upperman. I don't know what's going to happen next. It's been a wild night.
It has been a wild night, and right now the only questionable ejection out of all that would be Stewart.
So now it's going to be back in the shotgun goes Enzer. Enzer hands it off.
That's fumble.
He fumbled it. And there's bodies everywhere, so I'm not sure who's going to come out with it.
That handoff went to number 9, Jeremy Newell, who never got it. He's a freshman running back, and looks like Upperman recovered.
I think so. I think he must have fell on it, Gary, as it's going to be 3rd down and 9, though. One of the few times York's got Upperman in the long situations. And we'll see how well Enzer does with those long situations. We know McAllister, he's been able to pull something out of his hat every time.
He has, and, they're 3rd and 9 here. They're not looking at – I'd be surprised they threw the ball. Wouldn't be totally shocked, be surprised, but I think they're going to run it here. They're looking to run this clock off and get out of here too, as much as –
yeah, and neither team can, if they have ejections and it goes over the next game, neither team can afford that. As they're going to pick up, and it's going to be Enzer going up the middle, and Enzer got nowhere on that one.
No, he didn't. They finally, the ball's out.
And coming up with it was Cooper, and Cooper's going to run. Cooper, he showed it to the official, and the official said, I didn't see nothing. But they're going to mark it down back there. So
yeah, another one of the officials has marked it down. The side judge over here, he wouldn't go and take it. So
yeah,
Cooper did run it to the end zone, and the clock's going to continue to run, and got about a yard on that. So it's going to be about 4th down and 7.
That was kind of odd because Cooper kept showing it to the side judge over here, Gary, and he just kept looking at him like, I didn't blow no whistle.
Yeah, I think the umpire actually did blow it dead. So,
yeah, I think they had his forward momentum stop before he dropped the football. But still, we got, a timeout called by York. Timeout on the field with 5.5 minutes exactly left to go in this one. It's 35-0 Upperman.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No.
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Huh. What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
And, Gary, a timeout called by York, and Coach Derwin Wright pleading his case there. He didn't like that last call. And
he's got it right, Gary. That ball, I think that ball stripped out while the back was still up. And, I think that at least the side judge over here agreed with him. He never called it dead, and thought that should have been a touchdown for Ben Cooper, but instead it's 4th down and 6 from the 44-yard line.
And the ends are going to go for it. Shotgun, they'll take the snap. Enzer will throw it out, and they overthrew that one. Look out, Mom, he's going for the cheap. See, now they're going to give York a late hit flag. Enzer asked for it, and he got it. So asking you shall receive, Mr. Enzer.
Yeah, and the York sideline is going nuts. And they should, because he had to ask for that penalty before he ever got it. And that's an awful call. That's just awful. And, you're in a 35-0 game, less than 5 minutes to go, and they call a personal foul on that.
Roughing the passer on that one. Oh, my gosh.
I would even question that was roughing the passer. That was, he was right there when the ball was thrown.
Yeah, that was just he had right after the pass was over, and I'm not sure what the official. This ain't two-hand touch, brother. I don't know what game you're watching, but that official, I guess he was just waiting for it to be asked to throw the flag, because once he was asked, he threw it.
Yeah, he did not throw it until he was asked.
So now Enzer back in the shotgun. Maybe he'll ask for another one here. We're down under 4 minutes left to go in this one. And Upperman just taking their time. They're waiting for that back official to raise his arm. When he raises his arm, he has 5 seconds to snap it. And there it goes up. And he starts counting down. They'll snap it. Ends are going to hand it off right up the middle. And still on his feet, going straight ahead all the way down to the 18-yard line. Is that 22?
I believe it was, Gary. Yeah, it was 22.
So 22.
Eli Randolph on the carry.
And Clay County a winner tonight over Pickett, 45-0. So Pickett County falls to Clay County tonight. Tough loss for the Bobcats. As now Upperman with the football and leading it 35-0. We're down to 3 minutes left to go in this one. And Upperman just taking their time. They'll wait for that official. The back official, when he gets down to the last 5 seconds, will raise his hand and start making the motion down. And he's doing that back now. The back judge is. They'll hand it off up to number 22 again, Gary, and he goes ahead for a couple of yards.
Yeah, gets it down to about the 15-yard line, Gary. So it'll be gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7. Clock continues to run. 2.5 minutes to go here.
Eli Randolph, Gary, picking up a couple, but right now it's Upperman don't really care if they score or not. They're just trying to just eat this clock up, and they're doing a really good job at it.
Yeah, they are. They're looking to snap this ball about 3 or 4 more plays, and then they're looking to get off of here.
So it's going to be Upperman to snap. And Enzer takes the snap, hands it off once again to number 22, still on his feet, Bulls all the way down to about the 4-yard line. Eli Randolph, Gary, showing he can run pretty hard as well.
Yeah, good tough running there, just right over the left side or behind the left tackle, and moves it down to about the 6-yard line or 2-yard line.
Well,
2-yard line.
I'm going to say this because personally, you're down to 1:33 and you got a 1st and goal, and there's 1:33 left to go. Take a knee a couple of times and just get this game over with. Don't, run plays and try to run up the score. I mean, it's just, to me, this is where you take a knee and just get it over with. But they're going to run a play, and that's going to be
didn't
Randolph
get
again.
Nothing on that one, Gary.
Tripped up.
Yeah, York with good penetration through the line, able to hold him up a loss of a yard.
Well, see, I'm just a believer, Gary, to don't rub salt in the wound, and that's because what goes around comes around, brother. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, and good job by York here. This could be the last play of the game. Stop them here and keep them out of the end zone.
So it will be Enzer back in the shotgun. We're down to 30 seconds left to go in this one. Upperman's going to improve to 6-1. York's going to fall to 2-4 on the season. And that one goes up the middle, and that one got nothing also.
Good job by York, and that should be the last play of the game.
And it is going to be the last play of the game as they're lining up to shake hands and call this one a day. It's a tough night for the Dragons. They're going to lose this one here tonight. Your final is going to be 35-0 Upperman. We'll take a break, and we'll be right back.
If you're from the South, people make assumptions like that you wake up at dawn to blast country music in your pickup truck. En route to McDonald's for delicious buttermilk crispy chicken. Well, that last one's true. Embrace the Southern stereotype and wake up with new buttermilk crispy chicken McGriddles. Warm griddle cakes with the sweet taste of maple and all white meat chicken for only $3. Or get a buttermilk crispy chicken biscuit for $3. Only at McDonald's. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ventures Farmers Co-op, happy to be a proud sponsor of York Dragon football. We wish you a winning season. Every game is a success when you have played your best. Ventures Farmers Co-op, bringing you quality products from feed, seed, and fertilizer to automotive, to animal health and pet products, to gas, diesel, and propane, to clothing and boots for the family and a gift shop. All this and much more at Ventures Farmers Co-op, 1219 Old Highway 127 South, Jamestown. Go Dragons!
Philip Hall, owner of Hall Family Pharmacy in Jamestown and Clark Range, invites you to the new Hall's Sports and Outdoors, now open in downtown Jamestown. Hall's Sports and Outdoors carries top quality sporting equipment and accessories from top names like Costa, Timberland, and more.
Stop in at the new Hall's Sports and Outdoors for everything you need for the woods and field. Jamestown has a new sporting goods store, Hall's Sports and Outdoors, at the corner of South Main Street and Livingston Avenue, across from the historic courthouse in Jamestown.
The Gary Maxwell Insurance Office offering area insurance is located at 300 West Central Avenue in Jamestown. Get a free quote for your home, auto, life, or business with no obligation to buy. Call 879-1251. Shane Beatty, Katie Cooper, Tammy Robbins, and Brad Raines agents, along with Jeff Robbins, manager, will be happy to assist you. That's Gary Maxwell Insurance, located 300 West Central Avenue, with locations in Livingston, Cookeville, and Gainsboro.
Managing your medications has never been easier. With Meta-Thrift Pharmacy's MedPack, your medications come organized by date and time, securely sealed in individual, easy open packages. So when it's time to take your next dose, you just tear the package off the roll and your pills are there. That's all there is to it. No bottles, no bother. For more information, call us at 879-8133.
When it comes to watching sports, there's no telling what you'll hear.
No!
But when you order Pizza Hut for the game, you know exactly what you'll hear.
What the? Oh, that looks fantastic.
Your favorite pizza.
Ooh.
Those awesome wings.
What?
Plus sides and desserts.
Yeah.
All waiting at pizzahut.com. So order now, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Huh. What game?
Product availability, prices, participation, delivery areas, and charges and minimum purchase required for delivery may vary. Delivery charges not a driver tip.
Well, Gary, a tough loss for the Dragons, a big region loss here tonight as they fall to Upperman 35-0.
Yeah, it was, it kind of got away from them in the second half, and that's the way a lot of York games have, transpired this year. And York played a, pretty good first half. It was the last 4 minutes of that first half and then into the third quarter that really, kind of got them behind, trying to play catch-up football at that point. And then, you don't get any breaks at the end either. And, York had a chance to make this a 7-7 game, 7-0, and Hayden at the 15-yard line going in and had a good drive going, fumbled that away, and just really never did threaten again after that, Gary.
Welcome now to the post-game show brought to you by Progressive Savings Bank. Don't go away. We'll be talking with Coach Derwin Wright. We'll take a look at the stats from tonight's game. We still got our player of the game to decide on coming up as well. But right now, let's take a word from Progressive Savings Bank.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the parent-teachers group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
Gary, what can you say about this when York ran into a buzzsaw by the name of McAllister?
Yeah, he was outstanding tonight, and his receivers made most of the plays there. They didn't run the ball that well. If you say it downside about them, they were not effective running the ball other than McAllister. I mean, he was great running it, but their backs didn't gain a whole lot of yards tonight, Gary, and found a little tough sledding. I thought York's defensive line played pretty well, especially when on the running plays.
And one of the things too, Gary, York had some opportunities to stop them. They let McAllister get free. He got free on some big plays, especially that one where they had the bad snap. He picked it up 10 yards deep and then still brought it out and made it all the way up to midfield. He picked up about 40 yards on it.
Yeah, he did. You know, it was a, it was a chance for York to get a negative play, and it turns into a big positive play for them, allows them to keep a drive alive and eventually score a touchdown.
And, of course, York, what can you say, Gary? It was just one of those situations where York just got a bunch of injuries in this one as well, and that just made it even worse.
Yeah, it did, and injuries to key players as well. So it was a couple of big breaks.
Well, we're going to take a quick timeout now, and then we'll be back in just a second to talk with Coach Derwin Wright, so don't go anywhere.
Cheer this year for all our school teams and activities. Get behind our local schools. Join the Parent Teachers Group and help improve the quality of education. Sponsor school activities. Go to a ball game, hear a concert, reach higher. Progressive Savings Bank, insured by FDIC.
Everything we do, it's true. We do for you.
And back here on the Progressive Postgame Show, join me now, Coach Derwin Wright. And Coach, Upperman come out tonight. They were pretty much hitting on all cylinders.
We executed, believe it or not. I told them, we're going to lock on man, and if they can beat us with the passing game, they'll beat us. And they didn't. They never thrown a ball like that before. And the kid had a career night, but we stuffed the run. We played the run well. I'm proud of my guys up front. Secondary, they're not being aggressive enough, and just didn't break on the football. Wyatt Hawks playing his butt off, made so many field tackles, and they went after him with those corner routes, and we just didn't get them covered. He covered the first one perfect, and then I think he got, after they threw a little quick bubble, he got sucked up a little bit too much, and we finally got him straightened out on that. But I believe it or not, I'm proud of our kids. I mean, they fought. We hit as well as we did. We stuffed the run all game. A little quick passing game and missing tackles out here in the open space is what beat us tonight. But offensively, we're so beat up. Caden Stover was doing some good stuff with us offensively, and he broke a collarbone. I mean, it just broke. Nathaniel Castellon, first run, great run. Ran through, broke some tackles, and anyway, he got a shot helmet in the ribs, and we think he may have a cracked rib. And then Aaron Talent, possible knee injury, we don't know on him yet. But again, with all that happening, we're trying to run a three-back offense with two running backs. So still was able to do a few things pretty daggum good, and but defensively, I'm proud of our guys up front.
Coach, this one a tough loss, and also in this one, I think you had one ejection in the game. So that one, does that carry over?
We did that, and I'm sure he'll be gone 2 games. We talk about that. You never heard anybody in a football game punching except yourself, and just had that conversation at halftime. And young man playing his tail off, doing a great job inside on the guard 2 technique for us, and. The guy tries to grab him and whip him down, and then he takes him down, and he first starts to try to rip the ball out, and then I don't know what happened from there, but our guy threw 2 punches, and you get ejected, and that's what happens. The 33 for them got ejected. One of the sorriest calls though in my career happened tonight, and I guess I'm getting old because I just told Cliff, the guy on our sideline, pretty good official, I said, Cliff, he missed that. And I said, I'm fixing to get ejected. And he said, Coach, it's 34, nothing. There's not time to do it. And I said, well, you're right. I said, but I'm going to talk to him afterward. First thing the guy said, he said, I messed up. I missed it. I said, what do I tell my kids? What I tell these guys playing their tail off? Defensive end made a great rush and got a good shot. As the quarterback was releasing the ball. Nothing dirty about that play. It's a good football play. And, 25 seconds later, he throws a flag. I just don't get it. But I mean, that didn't beat us. But you know, it's just that shouldn't happen.
It's like I said, it almost like he asked for the penalty and he got it.
And I'm still wondering, you know, the running back standing straight up and being Gooper, linebacker, church it out, comes up running out with it, and then the whistle blows. Well, they said the whistle already blowed. I'm watching it from a farther distance than them, but I still feel like he had the football. I'm interested to see that on film, But again, I want to go back. I challenged our defensive line and our defensive ends and our linebackers, and I said, last year they ran all over us. We're not going to let them run over us. They're typically a 3-receiver set. We're going to lock on and play them man. They just have better athletes in space, and we couldn't get it done, but we couldn't get to the quarterback either. And there's a couple of times that we had chances to get there, and I just felt like we were just a step late. But, I'm proud that we stepped the run. And, that's first. That's where your defense begins. The team can't run on you, then you got to make plays in the secondary, and we just didn't do it.
Coach, the tough part of this one, it was a region contest. It was and that drops you to 1-2 in the region, and now puts the pressure on you to come away with some wins in these last 2 region games to get to the playoffs.
Well, we got this week off, which is a good thing. Thomas Miller should be back for us. He dressed tonight and really wanted to get in, but I told him we'd use him if we had to. I still want to let him get a little bit more rest and get back 100%. But we've got to. I told the kids we was going to practice Monday and Tuesday. Wasn't going to be, they wasn't going to be negative practice. It's going to be shorts, T-shirts. We've got to get some reps, get some kids replaced, get some other guys into the offense. Aaron Talent, this great senior offensive tackle for us, and we've ran behind him, and we've not had a lot of success. But when we run behind him, we've had success. And that was a jet sweep out his side. He pulls, makes a block, and is getting a downfield block, and a guy rolls up on the back of his knee. But he's just I can't say enough about him. He's just a fabulous kid to coach, and we're hoping that it's not an MCL, but he has a knee brace on, so hopefully that was enough to keep it from messing it up. But he couldn't put any weight on it, so that's not a good sign.
Of course, we were just talking about the outstanding game that Caden had, and then we saw him go down.
Well, that's your fear. Caden's a great athlete, but he's a freshman. He's 14, 15 years old and not had enough time in the weight room. And I talked to him earlier in the year about, being a freshman, and I knew he was going to play a lot for us because we're just not blessed with a lot of athletes, and he's probably one of our top 2 fastest guys. And I said, hey, go down, in the weight room and every day work some shrugs and work your shoulders and your arms, because that's typically where freshmen get hurt. Richard Bulls years ago, Hoss of a freshman and had to play too much and broke a collarbone, and it's always a fear. Dads want them to play, but in reality, as a coach, I don't want a freshman having to take the reps that he's having to take, because they've not went through puberty, they've not matured, they've not, and that's something you hate to see happen, and it happened. And but he did things to prevent it. I mean, he worked and he did what I asked him to do, but this a tough break for him.
Coach, you got, like we mentioned, you got the week off before you got Sequatchie County. Sequatchie County, they're maybe not as strong as they were last year, but they're still going to be a good team at third place.
Oh, they're a good team at third place. Coach Wattenbarger, he runs this double wing, and similar to what I do, he does a good job with it. And but we're again, you look at the record and you say, okay, you're sitting here with a 2-5 record, but dadgummit. Besides this one we were down the most at the half, but 2 of those touchdowns were just blown assignments that, you look and, guys, I drew it up on the board. We worked it all week, and we line up wrong. But again, some of that's just inexperience, and not realizing, and they bounced out in a 2-by-2 set, and I said, when they go 2-by-2, this dog's got to lock on over here, and he's a senior and didn't lock on, and it was an easy throw and catch for a touchdown. But again, but going back to it, I'm still proud of our guys how hard they're playing. They're not quitting. The head's not dropping. They're getting after it. We've had some horrible breaks. Last 2 years, both seasons 9 and 3, and played injury-free football for the most part. Well, this year it's not happened, and some of that I say, well, I didn't feel like we had as good a year in the weight room, and I contribute some of that to that because that's where you build your team. But again, we lost 3 pretty solid, good little football players for us tonight, and I know one of them's going to be out for the rest of the year. Don't know about the other 2, but we were thin already, so we got to find out what we can do and get some kids in better position and go to work on Monday. And very positive. Let me tell you about these boys. Okay, they know we got the open week. Well, they said, Coach, we want to meet Sunday and watch film. They want to get better. And what else can you ask as a coach? That's just a great sign. And I told them, I said, because at first I said, no, boys, we're going to be off Sunday. I said, I'll break the film down, put it on. They said, Coach, we want to watch film Sunday. I said, that's great, guys. I'll be there. We'll watch film. We'll look at it. I said, and get better. So, as a coach, that's all I can ask for them to do, and I'm proud of that.
Well, Coach, tough one here tonight, and hopefully get some healthy bodies back before the next one. And
well, I'll tell you what, that's a good Upperman football team. Don't get me wrong. That is, they're number 8 in state, and there's a reason for that. But I'm telling you, my front 8 up front, I'm proud of the job they did on the inside run and outside run both. So. Well, I just got to throw that out because they executed the game plan. We just made mistakes in the secondary.
And, Coach, you couldn't have thrown the ball better than McAllister did tonight. He was on target on every throw. He was threading needles and everything tonight. It was probably one of the best performances I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I think they realized, Livingston popped out in this set of playing 8 up there and locking on with 3, and they're blessed with some athletes in the secondary, and they stuffed them. They ended up beating them at Upperman 10-7, and they've added to their offense. They've seen what their weakness was, which that's a good coach by Coach Kane there, but they've added to their offense, and they've realized that they're going to have to do more than what they've done, and they've had a couple of weeks to work on that since then, and he had a great night throwing the ball. His Coach Kane come over and said, Coach, that's the best we've ever thrown the ball. And I said, yeah, I know it just had to happen against us, but he said, man, your kids played their heart out up front and stuffed the run, said we couldn't run the ball. And that, that's where you start on defense. You got to start by stuffing the run, and we did a great job there, and now maybe we can get the back end there too.
Well, Coach, we'll thank you for joining us. Tough loss here tonight, but we will look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks down Sequatchie.
All right. Thank you, Gary.
And that was Coach Derwin Wright. We'll be back with more here in just a moment.
It's football time on the mountain. At Progressive Savings Bank, we know running your small business is a lot like coaching a team. You call the plays that drive your business towards success, and we're your #1 fan. After all, you provide the products, the services, and jobs that keep our local economy moving forward. We partner with small businesses to help you reach your financial goals with free business checking and flexible financing to help operate and grow your business with the right financial equipment to keep you in the game. This is Mark Justice wishing our York Dragons a successful football season. We are proud once again to sponsor Dragon First Downs. Progressive Savings Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here on the Progressive Postgame Show. Gary, give us a look at tonight's stats.
Well, obviously, not a good night for the Dragons, 35-0. Looking at York, only 6 first downs in the game. They had 4 rushing, 1 passing, 1 by penalty. If you remember at halftime, I think I'm looking back real quick, they actually had actually they didn't get a first down in the second half. They had 6 first downs at halftime, so no first downs in the second half. They ran 23 times for 87 yards. That's 3.8 yards a carry. Had 4 of 7 through the air for 33 yards, 120 total yards for York tonight. For Upperman, they had 20 first downs, 8 rushing, 9 passing, 3 by penalty, 31 carries, 210 yards, 11 of 16 passing for 207 yards and 4 touchdowns, 417 total offensive yards for Upperman tonight. There were 9 penalties in the game, and York got the last 5 of them, or 6 of them actually. And actually, I think Upperman got the first. York got the first penalty. Upperman got the next 3, and then York got the last 5. But Upperman 3 for 25, York 6 for 59. York they only held the ball about 5 minutes in the second half because of the running clock too. So individually for York, they were led in rushing by Caden Stover, 4 carries, 35 yards. Zach Gibson 3 for 17. Jonah Durham 6 for 16. Evan Tompkins 3 for 11. Ben Cooper 5 for 4, and Nathaniel Castellon 2 for 4. In the air, Jonah Durham was 3 of 4 for 26 yards. Isaiah Strong 1 of 3 for 7 yards. Thaddeus Tolman caught 2 for 16. Johan West 1 for 17, and Zach Gibson 1 for 0. For Upperman, they were led in rushing by Donovan McAllister, 9 carries, 135 yards and a touchdown. Ty Duchess 9 for 29. Ron Randolph 5 for 26. Zach Stewart 6 for 19. Thomas Enzer 1 for 2, and Jeremy Newell 1 for -1. McAllister was 11 of 16 through the air, 207 yards, 4 touchdowns. Daniel Metzger caught 3 of those for 79 and 2 touchdowns. Carter Shanks 3 for 60. Ty Duchess 2 for 45 and a touchdown. Thomas Enzer 1 for 10 and a touchdown. Nicholas Stacy 1 for 7, and Steven Snyder 1 for 6. Tackling, York was led by Evan Tompkins with 7 tackles tonight. White Hawks, Ben Cooper with 6 each. So, tough night for the Dragons.
It's just, Gary, it's one of those situations where York, they come in here knowing this was going to be a tough game. They shut down the run, like you said, and McAllister just had a career night. Like Coach Derwin Wright said, he had a career night throwing the ball. He was throwing the ball through a couple of defenders. I mean, some of these passes, it was unbelievable how accurate they were.
Yeah, I mean, everything was on the money. I can't remember just an exceptionally bad pass out of him all night. And, it's frustrating. York's held into some games. Like Coach Trout said, this is the only game. This is the biggest they've been down at halftime the whole year. And they've been in games at halftime and have kind of just wore down in the second half. And, you see the frustration. It's no more evident that, you get a horrible call on a roughing the passer penalty, and the emotions just kind of boil over at that point. And, it's not just that one play. It's been building for a while, Gary, and, we just seen it kind of overflow tonight. And, Coach Wright handled that as well as he possibly could, and probably better than a whole lot of us would have.
And, Gary, the big thing tonight out of this one as well is it being a district loss, a region loss. You may have lost Aaron Talent for the year with a knee injury. You had Castellon go down with a rib injury. You had Caden Stover go down with a broken collarbone. So he is gone for the rest of the year. And you got an ejection, which carries over a 2-game penalty, according to Coach Wright. So Clark's not going to be back till the final game of the season.
No, he's not. He'll miss the Sequatchie. He'll miss the Livingston game. He'll get to play in that final against Cannon County. And, that game's looming ever large now. Yeah. You still got to go play a region game with Sequatchie, and, you hope to get some kids healthy and be ready to go down there and play a great game a couple of weeks from tonight. But, that Cannon County game's going to loom large in York's schedule, I think, and the ability maybe to play another week.
Well, thank you for joining us for the Progressive Postgame Show. It's only one thing left for us to do. That's to get tonight's player of the game, brought to you by Hall's Family Pharmacy and Hall Sports and Outdoors. We'll have our player of the game coming up right after this.
Hello, this is Philip Hall with Hall Family Pharmacy and Hall Sports and Outdoors. We are proud to sponsor this broadcast player of the game. Be a part of the winning team. Hall's is proud to be this area's #1 pharmacy, and now you may visit our expansion in downtown Jamestown for all things sports and outdoors and a complete line of sports medicine equipment.
And back here where, Gary, what can you say? It's time to pick our player of the game. A tough night when you had a 35-0 and getting beat 35-0. It's kind of tough to pick out that player of the game for tonight.
Actually, it is, Gary. You know, you look at, you ran for 87 yards, you threw for 33 more, and it's hard to pick out an offensive stalwart tonight. And you know, you look, your defense played pretty good. You look through the list, and, you know, you got several kids that made tackles. But, and this is, you know, it's kind of so difficult. I think we'll split the award tonight, and we're going to split between Evan Tompkins and White Hawks. We'll let them split tonight. And, you know, this is primarily for what they done defensively. Evan Tompkins had 5 solo tackles, 2 assists. 7 total tackles, and then on offense, you know, he carried it 3 times for 11 yards. White Hawks, 6 solo tackles. We saw him save at least a couple of touchdowns with great open field tackles. You know, he saved a couple. Johan West saved a couple as well. But White broke up that first pass. Coach Wright attributing to him for that. But we'll just split it between those 2 guys tonight.
Good choices, as those 2 young men are our players of the game. Well, Gary, we got York's got a week off. They've got a week off to get healthy, get back, you know, some of those kids, and they're going to need it for that final 3 games.
They are, you know, and I expect that Coach Wright will, you know, try to get these kids healthy. I don't know that. You know, it's hard for me to sit here and say, but I don't think anybody's going to go out there at less than 100% right now. And, you know, if that means you play some of the younger kids that are not getting a lot of playing time down in Sequatchie County, then that's what you do. You got Livingston. While that's historically a huge rivalry game, it's not a region game. So, you know, you're going to get your way through that one. Hopefully get your roster as healthy as you can as you go into that final game of the year, and, you know, you're fighting for a playoff berth.
Well, of course, Livingston, you mentioned it being a huge rivalry game, but in the words of Richard Marks, don't mean nothing in the region.
And, you know, I make it sound like everything's coming down that game, and it might, but, you know, you go to Sequatchie in a couple of weeks, that's a region game. You go down there and win that, then, you know, you're going to play Cannon County for position as well, you know, in the region tournament, because, you know, you're going to be in at that point. It's just a matter of where you're going to be seated at, and
where you travel to in the first round.
Yeah, where you would travel to in that case. But, you know, it's a couple of big region games coming up here, and, you know, the bye week couldn't have come at a better time for these guys. Try to get a little bit of health and, you know, get some rest and get back somewhat healthy as you go to Sequatchie County in 2 weeks.
Well, we mentioned that York has a week off. We don't. We'll be on the road next Friday night. A week from now, join us as the Pickett County Bobcats travel to Jackson County in a non-region matchup. We'll have the play-by-play of that from down at Jackson County next Friday night. Should be a good ball game. Pickett County took it on the chin tonight against one of the probably favorites in the state tournament coming up. That's Clay County.
Yeah, I mean, Clay County lost their first game of the year last week, so, you know, they've only got 1 loss, and they'll be, you know, one of the top teams in this region coming out over here in Single A. You know, we saw Jackson County play on opening night, and they gave York all they wanted, and, you know, it was very unorthodox. It didn't, very unconventional, but it was somewhat effective in their offense. I don't know if they threw a ball 5 yards all night long, Gary, but they completed several of them and probably should have completed even more. And, they really could have put the pressure on York if they did. And instead, York got out there with a 26-14 victory. So, it's going to be a tough trip for Pickett County next Friday night.
So we will have that coming up next Friday night at 7 o'clock. Join us for Pickett County and Jackson County. That's going to do it for us from here tonight. I want to thank Gary for joining me tonight and thank all our sponsors for our live broadcast. Also, Progressive Savings Bank for our post-game show. Now, this note, due to the off week, we will not have the Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show on Monday night. We will be back with that a week from Monday night at 5:30, so be sure to join us for that. But we will not have a Coach Derwin Wright Sports Show this week as York has the week off. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us from here tonight. We'll thank Kevin over there on camera, one way over there across the way. That's going to do it for us tonight. Be sure to turn out next or 2 weeks from tonight when York goes to Sequatchie County. And be sure to come join us down in Jackson County next week as the Bobcats take on the Blue Devils from Jackson County High School. Until then, for 15104 Sports, I'm Gary Clark. We'll see you at the game.